Country from John.
That's right. Here we go. Here we go.
We are live.
Oh man, are we really live? People, are we really live out there? Are y'all paying attention to this election? It's not even going on live on mine. What the hell? Having trouble? Mine said having trouble connecting to the internet.
Really?
Let me. You might have to hit the button. Let me try it again.
All right, let me try that. Let me see.
Well, it's mine spinning right now. So.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I just hit the button. Give it a second. If it comes back, I'll let you hit it.
Okay.
No, maybe no. You give it a try because it's not letting me take us live.
Wow, because right now something's going on because it's telling me the end stream.
Oh well, I guess I don't know what the hell's going on, ladies and gentlemen. We live. We may not be live. I'm not sure.
It shows that we are live. We're 1 minute and 13 seconds in.
Okay, for some reason, guys and girls, it's saying I'm not live in mine. I'm not sure what that's about. So there's weirdnesses. Hopefully everybody can hear us out there and there's no weirdnesses going on. I know Leah's going to be joining us later. The other Sean is out vacationing. Something about tracing girls around. I'm not sure what that's about, but.
Okay, so what's up, guys? Welcome. Joe will be back on. Welcome to News on the Flip Side. Joe, he just got pushed off, and I'm Sean Kelly, host of Into the Night, and I got Jay McNichols here. How you doing today, Jay?
Very good. Tired, but I'm here.
Look, why are you tired? You're young.
I've been up since
you're a young, strapping man.
I got up at 5:30 this morning.
Oh,
just how it was Wednesday night. About every 15 minutes, it just throw me out of here. Oh, and now it says we're live.
Yeah. It's almost like he has a panic button. He just boom and pops in and out.
Well, it's just bullshit connection until we get our new connection. And so the cable company tells me, welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all having a good evening. So the cable company tells me, first they tried to blame it on us. I said, we didn't blow no fucking box up. Get out of here. And then they start, a week to 8 weeks. So finally they call me today. So it's going to be at least 10 weeks.
Oh my.
Like, well, on the radio station, right? I'm going to have to sue y'all. Say, oh no. We got a thing from AT&T. It should be at your house Monday or Monday. They said the 3rd to the 5th. I'm like, and you think that's going to run all my stuff? He said, well, you told me what you needed, and they said it's going to handle it. If not, we'll get you something else. She said, but we can't even give you a personal connection over there because all the nodes from this side of this whole area is burnt. So not only do they got to replace the equipment in the office, they got to replace all the nodes all around the area until they find out.
What happened? Was there like a rainstorm? What? Hurricane?
I don't know. They don't know. All they know was there was a surge. They don't know what caused the surge, where it came from. No, that was no bad weather when it happened. It just happened.
It was a probatory attack by China upon the United States of America.
Well, you do know they were talking about, I forgot what group it was, had hacked 53 million or 53,000 cable internet boxes around the country and destroyed them. So maybe that's what it was. I really don't know. What do you mean anonymous? I don't think anonymous would do that. But anyway, welcome to News on the Flip Side, everybody. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. It's going to be a little weird, but so what do y'all think? Donald Trump, president, still? Can he still win? He's a felon now. Can he win?
Yeah, I'm voting for the felon. That's not a problem here.
I think his numbers are going to go up, not down.
Well, and don't correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Biden also say if Trump loses this trial, he would pardon him?
Yeah, but
I heard that
he changed that and said that if Trump wins the election legitimately.
Oh,
there goes the panic button.
Okay, so hey, Joe Fox, good to see you, buddy. So what did Joe Biden say? About if he wins the election, Trump? Did you hear that part, Joe? Jay?
Probably he was going to go with the part that if Trump does win the election, he can pardon himself.
Oh yeah, and that's true.
The president can pardon anybody.
You know what? No, let me tell you something. That's crazy because I was watching like News Week or something like that on YouTube, and they were saying that they don't really know how that's going to happen.
Oh, it's going to be this kind of night. I can already tell.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I really tell.
the problem Trump has is he's a good businessman. I suppose he's had some successes. He had some losses, but
hey, Joe.
he's not a politician. He never was. And there's most politicians have something on everyone else. So there's push and shove there. I don't think Trump had enough push and shove to avoid this. Otherwise, this would never have happened.
Oh, no, he ended up push and shove. That's why this happened. Because they're scared. Joe Biden said this himself just night before last on TV. He's scared if Trump gets in, there will be retribution across the board. The Democrats already said this. What's his name? Schumer from California said that the Senate is scared that this will be nothing but a retribution election. I mean,
I read an article just before starting on Jeff's show about, and I forget, I might have the window up somewhere. I'll have to look, but it said something to the effect that the Biden campaign, not the administration, the Biden campaign was convinced that if Trump wins, he's going to declare the Constitution null and void and make himself dictator just so he can maintain power for however long. And I don't, yeah, this article said that. And I mean, at least it looked like it was that article. I mean, I'll have to go back and I have to see if I hope that the window's still open.
That's
but my God, I know. I was like, what? When did he say this? I just could not believe it. It's not on those windows. It's not on those windows. Let me see if I can find that real quick. And I'll
we got two Joes going.
There's one.
I mean, just for them to freaking do that.
This is going to be like this all night. I can tell if he keeps it up, I'm going to cut the short tonight. But I'll let y'all finish it. It's just, this is some aggravating bullshit going on. I don't know why. So this system I'm on right now, which will run my TVs, no problem, which is way harder to run than this. StreamYard, for some reason, it just kicks me off nonstop. It's because it's running on my phone. That's why.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because like I told you, they blew the cable system out. And so once they blew the cable system out, I'm going to have to run on this until we get the new system in. But yeah, yesterday it let me run all day and talk and no problem. It lets both the TVs run on it, no problem. But it won't let StreamYard won't let it. I'm not sure what's going on. There's some BS going on somewhere. And the bad part is the signal's sitting right next to it.
Wow.
Having trouble connecting. This often caused by an unstable internet connection. Yes, well, you know what? Why don't you kiss my big happy white ass? How is that?
Are you going to be getting kicked off all night again?
Probably. So keep your fingers crossed. We don't get the new system until Monday or Wednesday. So until then.
What's the company that is going to be fixing it up?
Oh, well, see, Sparklight holds our business contract, but they're down for 8 weeks. So they, in their infinite wisdom, have got me or sending me an AT&T connection to run until they can get their system up. But right now, we're on T-Mobile's hotspot. Or y'all aren't, I am. So, which usually runs pretty good. So I'm kind of wondering. I understood Wednesday because some of the shit we were talking about was probably aggravating people Wednesday. But tonight, we ain't even got anything good yet. Other than Trump's going to be president. I mean, I don't even know.
Did you talk about it, Wednesday? Did you talk about this on Wednesday?
No, Wednesday we talked. We were alien stuff all night.
Okay.
Move closer to my what? Okay, I'll move it closer. Hold on. Maybe I should put it on top of it or something. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, let's see if that works. I mean, other than putting it inside the pad, I should have put it on a laptop. The pad is bitchy. But somehow the other day I accidentally blocked out my laptop from my phone. I don't know how I did that, but I'm going to have to call T-Mobile and say, hey, I was a dumbass, and you're going to have to show me how to fix this. But anyway, so Trump's found guilty all 34 counts.
Unanimously.
So these people prosecuted Trump let's see. Stormy Daniels said in the court she didn't get any money like that. Okay, that should have been charges dropped right there.
Would he be able to pardon himself if he became president?
Yes,
They-
he would.
Well, that's what everybody's saying, but you got lawyers. I was listening to them, and they were talking about it. That's a touchy situation because they don't know. They've been trying to figure it out for a long time, and they haven't come up with a conclusion if a president could actually pardon himself. I would think
He'd
he
still
would be
run,
able to.
though.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I
I think
believe.
it just boosted his popularity, to be honest.
Oh my God, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
oh yeah. I'll bet
absolutely,
his polls go up at least 5% in the next week or so.
easily.
Yeah.
Joe Fox says it's Zuckerberg messing with the feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
There's two of you, Joe.
Oh no.
You have a doppelganger.
What the hell's going on here?
Joe, which one's the real Joe?
This one's the real Joe. I don't know who this is. This fellow up here is. Can we get him out of there? Remove from stage. And can I throw myself out?
Yeah, if
Oh
you
my
push the wrong button,
I
yeah.
can't even throw myself out. I mean, what the hell?
Dude,
Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. I'm gonna find out a way to do. Next time it throws me out, I'll get rid of it. But so here we go. Last I heard, the president of the United States can pardon anybody he wants to.
Including himself. I'm sure he was going to finish
Joe!
with. It's that panic button.
I think that Big Brother is listening in on this show. I have no
You
doubt.
know-
in my mind.
I'm sure
Joe
the
was
NSA
saying-
is listening to everything that's related to anything that they're interested in. Yes.
Yes. And Joe was actually saying that all three of us on Wednesday were getting cut out at like certain times, depending on what we were talking about too. Like he'd be in the middle of saying something pertinent to the conversation. Jay would be in the middle of like explaining something really in detail, or I would
Mhm.
just go off on some random tangent like I do, and then we'd get cut off. You know, one of us would.
Well, I
But
think
it
we
was mostly
can.
Joe.
The only way for me to see the broadcast feed is to go upstairs to my man cave attic and watch, because it's usually I leave it on the TV. I sometimes go up and check on it just to see how good my background looks. To be quite honest,
It looks awful dark, dude. It looks awful dark.
yeah, because I have this thing. It's like it makes like a galaxy that kind of spins in the background, and I try to get it so it looks like a cool background, but
Right.
the lighting's hard. But I honestly did take that. The degree on the wall there behind that painting is a degree in video production, so I know how to make things look cool. I'm just not there yet with this room. It's a very dark house, so
I can
Wow.
part my hair both ways now.
I see
me
that.
too.
All right, weirdos. All right, wait, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, better.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're using the cell phone. Screw the pad.
so fun. Yeah, I can tell by the
Yeah, I'm gonna
Get that.
flip the screen over in a minute, and I think I can flip it over from here. But
No, it doesn't work this way. It hurts.
no,
actually.
there's a when if I flip it to the back cameras, it changes the.
I
look.
know. I was trying to like imitate an idiot trying to make the image flip.
My
Well,
hair's
I don't
growing.
Let's see if it'll even let me do that. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're playing difficulty stuff. Let's see, facing back. Let's see.
All I know is that when I was with Jenny on Chasing
Flip the
Property
camera. You can see your mail.
a long time ago, we were talking about some sensitive stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my God, we would start talking, and our whole system would go crazy, man. They would go, it was really bad. Every time we started talking about the sea, they were there listening, and they were messing up our show.
With the way technology is nowadays and with AI and all that, I imagine that it's on some type of automated system now where if you even speak a red flag word, they're going to be able to interfere in some kind of way. Like You know, there's certain topics that I know are off limits. And if we start to tiptoe around it, even, I feel like they're like, you know, it's not even
Right.
just someone's listening, much less algorithm that is there to detect those code like key terms.
Right.
Yeah, but those algorithms are being found and fed through computers. That then it's fed to an immediate human, like whatever observer, quality control personnel, whatever you want to call them. And then if it's got the right verbiage, if you will, it goes up to the red flag level.
I don't know which side I should part my hair on.
It looks
Yeah,
good both
either-
ways.
You know what? You look good either way. You look good either way.
Try it down the middle. I
the damn
was
thing.
down the middle when I was in high school.
You know
That
what?
was horrendous. I should have just never cut my hair. Oh
It
my
grows
God.
back, trust me. Unless you like Jay and I, it grows back. But you know, the thing that you like Jay and I, it don't grow back so
Someday
much.
it
Sean got
won't
good
grow
hair.
back. I'm getting to that age where I should have just left it long.
It'll grow, trust me. It'll
It'll
grow
come
back.
back.
That's right. Yeah,
Um, So what's that, Michael? Where you at, Michael? It's hard for me to see anything on this thing, so it's kind of weird. If y'all gonna keep messaging me, let me, yeah, do it like that. Yeah. Well, because it's hard on the phone. It's not like a computer or anything. So as far as I know, the president can pardon anybody he wants to. As far as itself goes, I don't see what the
Including
I mean, and it doesn't really matter because the only person that can prosecute a president is the Senate and the House through an impeachment, and they're not going to have votes for that.
Maybe we have an audience. Maybe we have an audience member that's a lawyer that knows. I don't think there's anything in the Constitution or any
Well,
other.
it doesn't matter what the lawyers say.
Can't
Well, it
do
doesn't
himself.
matter. The blue lawyers say he can't, and the red lawyers say he can't.
Well, where does it say he can't? That's what I'm.
No,
I don't
the
think it
blue
says that.
lawyers say that. The blue lawyers say that. It doesn't say it anywhere. There's no limitations on a presidential pardon, none. It's just no president's ever been considered pardoned itself. And he doesn't even have to pardon himself.
Donald J. Trump. Oh, he's pardoned.
Well, he doesn't have
Okay,
to
where's
pardon
if he's convicted, does that mean he's going to serve time somewhere? Does that mean
Well,
he's just going to go on a little
well,
mini vacation and
He
Mark,
is convicted. He's found guilty on all 34 counts.
and that's a
unanimously
lot of
by-
counts. So
It's
I
a
would feel
lot,
like
yeah,
that's
and it's
going
a
to
unanimous
require
vote, which is
time
which
served.
also is. You would think maybe some of the felonies would go through and others wouldn't, but
No, you wouldn't think that at all.
he already said he's going to appeal it, so it's going to drag on anyway.
Yeah. But let's
He's convicted,
examine
but he's
this.
not going to jail yet.
You've got a judge who voted for Joe Biden, talked shit about Trump all throughout the 2016 election, donates money to Biden now. The district attorney
He
does
probably
the same
beforehand, too.
thing. Every juror on there is a Democrat. How did anybody think he's going to get it? He actually asked in the beginning, why don't we do this like in Ohio somewhere where we could have a neutral? There's no way for Trump to get a fair trial in New York.
No.
Remember, this just happened with the other case when all those businesses left New York because they did this to Trump. Now they're going to lose more people. People are already saying they're going to move because of this. Because remember, these were misdemeanors that had already passed the statute of limitations through some sneaky bullshit. They brought them back and said they were felonies. And remember, their key witness, their key testimony has lied to Congress and judges on more than one occasion.
So
But
that
yeah,
one guy,
yeah, that's the Cohen guy, the lawyer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody, and he already told Congress a while back that Trump never did this. So he lied.
Okay,
So he went to jail for lying. And
I
but
don't
yet
know,
we're going to
man.
believe his
I feel like it's
testimony.
something Trump would actually do. I feel
What?
like he did have sexual relations with the porn star. And
It doesn't matter. None of that matters.
but
None of
who
that matters.
cares?
What they're saying is he used federal money to pay for this, and he didn't. He used his
Oh.
own money. That's why it was a misdemeanor, because he used his own money. You
But
can
I don't
give
see
people
where
hush money all day long. There's no law against that.
I don't see where the controversy comes from. If you look back at the Kennedy brothers, they passed Marilyn Monroe back and forth like a package of
Well,
bubblegum.
let's not forget Bill and how many people him and Hillary paid off. At least 5.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody
Paid
says
off
the
or
same
killed
thing.
off.
They could have went after Trump on this anytime in the last 4 years. They waited till 6 months before the election. If it's not politically motivated, I'm wearing purple hair.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe Fox says, okay, here's what's going on my end. Your video keeps freezing every few minutes, and I have to close out and click back in.
I don't know what that's
Because
about.
we're talking about stuff we shouldn't be.
Yeah, somebody's messing with the feed.
You know what?
Yeah, it should be running fine.
The
'Cause we're
whole country's talking about this right now. So
It is. And it's worse than that because the mega group came out, 188,000 of them have already signed a petition say if Trump goes to jail, there's going to be a revolution.
Yeah.
They're talking before the end of next month, over 500,000 people will have signed this. Can you imagine 500,000 megas showing up to New York City? Cop ain't going to stop them. National
isn't
Guard
that how
ain't
much
gonna get
they
involved.
said was there during Trump's like, I don't know, like, what
And
is
then
that?
remember,
Park.
if Trump doesn't feel
parade.
like he's being treated right, he can stay in Florida with DeSantis where he's safe. Nobody's going to get him down there. And he can still run for president.
Yeah.
So for some reason, these felonies don't stop him from running for president. I'm confused by that. But so what I was explained to by a Democratic lawyer is the only thing that can keep you from running for president is if you were charged with they tried to do on January 6th, insurrection. That's the only thing that can keep you from running for
And
president.
they weren't able to do that.
No.
Well, they keep trying to, but it keeps getting tossed out of court. And it'll never make it before the election. This is the only thing that'll make it before the election. The Georgia stuff just had some setbacks because this district attorney keeps looking more and more and more corrupt every time we turn around. So, and
Why
they
are
already
they
proved
trying
that she would
so
not have
hard?
gotten re-election without this case. There's a lot of funky monkey business going on there. Let's see how it happens.
Why
Yeah,
is
well,
it
here's the
such an
scary
effort
part.
to keep
Here's
him
the
out of
scary
office?
part. Nobody is doing nothing. They're mad. They're screaming, but they're not doing nothing. And if I was a Democrat, I would be scared.
They should be, because there's probably going to be some shit that comes down.
Oh.
It's
Because he's gonna throw them all under the bus.
well, Trump's going after each and every one of them, because all of this is definitely politically motivated. Nobody can argue the fact that this is politically motivated because they had 4 years to do this and they waited 6 months before the election. So it's completely. And remember, this is only in New York. Okay.
I remember hearing about this Stormy Daniels stuff when I was still pregnant. So that's like,
And wait, it's worse than that. He was
7
in
years.
Mar-a-Lago, according to his own lawyer. He was in Mar-a-Lago when the money was paid. So this isn't even a New York case. It should have been done in Florida. So in all kind of ways, the New York district attorney has exceeded their authority, and so has this judge. Just like when the other judge said, oh, well, Mar-a-Lago is only worth $450 million when the freaking lot's worth $450 million. There have been so many New York companies come out and said that was so wrong on so many levels, and they're leaving New York over it. So between California and New York, they're not going to be in, they're going to become shithole states completely, because they keep scaring off the people who actually made them the great states they used to be. I mean, come on. When McDonald's tells you they're leaving California, when Apple tells you they're leaving California, you're
for
in shit.
real.
You're in shit. I mean,
Well,
because everybody, a bunch of people are going to follow Apple.
Let's think about another income stream. How about all those states that have gone recreational marijuana and all the huge boons of money that they're pulling in for state services?
Yeah, but you know what? It's not as much money as I thought it was. So,
But
A lot of that money like goes to the legal fees, to the lawyers, to the business licenses, to
maybe so,
like
but
paying
it
people off.
still feeds the state. The state takes its state or its percentage of the
As
income
much
tax
of
out.
it. And
It's
then
still a
even-
lot. It's still a lot of it's
It's
income
not,
that the federal
actually,
government
so-
is giving to them.
so there's 4 million people in the state I live in. You know how many of them get to smoke marijuana? 17,000. Same thing in Louisiana. In Colorado, it's the same thing. Out of the 8 million, only like 1.5 million. So it's not the stream everybody thought it was, because there's not as many marijuana smokers in the country as we originally thought. So by making it legal, we found out that it was not quite the taken over country drug that we thought it was. Ain't that a surprise?
I never thought it would be, but I always thought it would be an excellent income stream for the entire country. Period.
Because it doesn't
Yeah,
take
like
much
cigarettes.
to produce it. there's
It doesn't, and it grows fast, and you can do 4 or 5 batches a year,
yes,
and all the byproduct can be turned into all other kinds of things like oils,
which it should be.
canvases, clothing. I mean,
Not under law. That ain't how it works. If it's marijuana, not hemp, it can't be used for clothes. It can't be used for rope.
Hey,
It can't be
Well,
used
unless
for
they
a lot of
change it to a
stuff.
Schedule
Going
3 or
all the way
Schedule 2
back.
or whatever lower drug.
going all the way back to like the beginning of this, the founding of this country, wasn't hemp outlawed because of the fact that the cotton people wanted to like control that industry?
Yeah,
And-
because it was cheap to grow. Hemp is way easier to grow than marijuana.
Yeah,
People always say they're the exact same plant, but they're not.
they're
Hemp-
very
hemp
different. They're
grows-
similar but different.
Yeah,
but that's
hemp grows
why
more wildly
cannabis
or
was
readily.
outlawed, because it's related to hemp, and they were
Right.
trying to
But
outlaw
that's
hemp
where
in order to
the saying "smoking rope" comes from. It's
Right.
from hemp. 'Cause
Right.
the ships,
Well,
they would
that's
light
not
the
all
rope
it
up
was
and
made
smoke
into. It was made into canvas, and it was also during the Revolutionary War. It was ordered by General Washington that all owners of farms larger than 1 acre had to devote a portion of their farmage to growing hemp to make clothing for the Army and Navy and sails for the ships and all other kinds of stuff. Rope.
And then how did the cotton industry take that over?
because they bought everybody out.
Yeah.
And cotton was something that was like worked on by slave plantation owners. Cotton
Yes.
was a slave industry.
The big slave industry too. It
So
was
Yeah,
If you
most of the
wanna look at
world
it
at that
that
time,
way.
but most of the world at that time, though, all delved in that same ring of slavery. It
they were
wasn't just
trying
America.
to keep that the norm.
Yeah.
Okay.
well,
I just learned a history lesson here. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that shit. You
Really?
know?
Wow.
yeah, it was because hemp. If it would have went the other way around, hemp would have been normalized. We'd be using it to make all kind of stuff. Marijuana would have been legal a long time ago.
The reason why I'm a convertible guy, my one of my first cars that I ever was bought just was strictly for me. No one else could borrow it unless I let them. Was an MGB convertible, and it had one of those pleather tops because it was made in 1976. The reason is somewhere in the 70s, I think 73, 4, 2, 1, somewhere around there, that when they legalized the production of hemp and whatnots, wherever, they could no longer create canvas to make the tops for convertible vehicles. So there was not only a shortage in making canvas for painters and other uses, rope and whatnot. They had to put a new industry in, and that's when you get all these synthetic fibers and fake ropes and all that crap that we pay for now.
Like stuff made out of plastic, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
all plastic.
So here, this is y'all gonna love this. So there's 350 million Americans in this country, right? 350 million Americans.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, 6 million of them smoke marijuana. 17% is what the states are saying now. 6 million.
So
That's
if you
not a
take
big-
away
that's not a big
children
income
and you take
stream,
away
man.
the
That's not-
ultra elderly, that leaves 17% probably.
No, that's what they're saying is 17% total. That's how many people are registered or tell people they smoke marijuana. Since it's legal in these states, there's no reason to lie. And the Congress considers that a high estimate. They're thinking it's more around 15 or 14%. That's one of the
No, because
reasons.
there's a lot of people that won't admit to it still.
I don't know why you wouldn't today. If you're going to smoke it, you're going to be smoking it legally.
Because of their positions
40
in their
states,
life.
36
Like they don't want to
states.
jeopardize their high ranks.
Did
and-
you guys ever think possibly that since it's legal, that it's not fun to go chase the marijuana and
That's
get
part
caught?
of it. That's part of it.
Well,
Before
think about
it was-
it in terms of
Sobriety is
politics
honestly way
in
more
the
fun.
Senate. Think of this: 24 states have recreational marijuana laws, and that's almost 50%. And what is it that you need for the Congress to pass a bill? 2/3, which is
Yeah.
less than half.
So
We're above Congress making it legal across the entire country, with just 24 states having it legal.
that's not enough to make it legal. But you have
It's more than
another-
2/3.
Yeah, it's only 24 is only half, so it's not even.
It's almost half, yes, of 50 states, but it's
So
more
now,
than
now,
2/3.
if you add in those states with real medical marijuana, not the ones like Mississippi that kind of have medical marijuana, that's probably another 12 states. That puts you over the limit. But
No, it
You wanna
doesn't.
know-
If you
you
have
wanna know why
26
it's not
states
getting
it's
legal?
legal, that's more than 2/3. You need only 2/3 of Congress to pass the bill. We have
So-
almost half.
So yeah, so you need a whole another third to pass the bill.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Okay, so I'm so bad at fractions. You're right.
You're
2/3 is
backwards,
more
yeah.
like 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, go
Yeah,
back to
backwards,
school.
but-
Go back to school, man.
So
Hey, all
so
right.
but it's
I
not
suck
that
at math.
that's not the
Get it.
problem. So the Senate, just the other day, Chuck Schumer and I think it was McConnell were talking about this. For them to make it a Schedule 3 drug, they need 50 million Americans to be smoking it. They're not even halfway
What?
there.
That would
So
mean
they
like
got-
children and like the elderly too.
No, there's 350 million Americans. There's a lot of it. And right now, only 20 million of them or less are smoking
So you're
marijuana.
saying like 1 out of 2 people would have to imbibe.
No. 350 million. You only need 50 million, not
Oh, 50
half.
million. I think it's
50
50%.
million. That's not even a quarter.
I don't know
That's-
if you saw some of the lines in the dispensaries in Hagerstown, you'd be amazed. I mean,
Yeah.
But then places like here, there are 11 dispensaries in a little town with only 6,000 people in it. There ain't no lines, and you can get it as cheap.
Nobody's
as
making any money
$15
off
an
that
eighth.
then.
That's what I'm saying. And California just recently said because the amount of dispensaries now, the profits are much lower, and the quality of the weed is getting worse because it's sitting and drying out. So if you buy weed here, you're going to notice that it's stamped from last year, from like November or September last year. So you're getting
and
weed at
most of them are
6
stamped with
7
a
months.
1-year expiration date.
So when you buy weed off the street, it's probably less than a month old. When you buy it from the dispensaries, it's 5-6 months old.
Joe,
Let's
let's be real. There's also some street weed you can get that's been sitting for months. It's
I doubt it. I doubt street weed sits for a long time because it's too dangerous.
Yeah, same here. But when we were getting it back in college days,
So I'll put this another way. So when I buy marijuana I bought it in California, Colorado. I bought it in about 7 states now. When I get it, it tends to be a little dry, sometimes even a little country. When I get weed off the street, it is sticky, sappy, like it just came off the boat, my friend. So all in general, you don't know what you're getting, but you're getting a better quality all the way around because it's just a fresher brand. Because what happens there is they cut it wherever in Mexico. 4 days later, it's in the United States. 8 days after that, it's on the street. It's not like it doesn't have to go through all those procedures. And Mississippi itself, like Louisiana, is weird about how they wanted to go through, what they have to check. As a matter of fact, they shut down a bunch of dispensaries down here because one company who checks the THC level wasn't doing it right. So all those people got cut out of their pot for 4 months over some ignorant thing. So, and even in Cali, and see, when I was in Hollywood last time, we were walking around, and within 2 blocks of our hotel, there was 7 dispensaries on Hollywood Boulevard.
No, I believe it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I worked at some of those.
But you make a good point, though. You make a really good point, though, about all the the percentages they put on the jars. I mean, they have the THC, THCA, THCB, CBD, CBG, CBGA, blah blah blah, and then they have what are the other ones? Terpenes. There's like limonene and
terpene.
Terpenes. Yeah. When you were getting in the street, you never thought, hey, what's the percentage on this, man?
No.
You just, hey, it smells good to me. Here's your cash, and then you go.
So funny thing is, I've worked at dispensaries before.
Maybe we'll send Trump some.
What's that?
Go ahead. I said we'll send Trump some while he's in jail.
Oh.
Hopefully he goes.
You can get it faster than we can send it to him, dude. He's in jail.
Let Leah finish. I want to tell you something after Leah finishes. Oh, where'd you go, Leah? We lost it. Oh, there you go. Okay.
I've seen vendors come in with, pounds, and the owner of the dispensary saying, so what is this strain? And the vendor being like, I don't know, call it whatever you want. Call it,
oh yeah, they do that.
like call it space age OG or whatever. And that's, some of the time I feel like the information probably isn't correct. It's, they get close as much as they can, but even the names and the strains could be wrong. You're getting something you really don't know what it is some of the time. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Like even the person growing it is just coming up off the cuff with a name to.
Well, yeah, I totally agree on that. I remember, I don't know how long ago, but I guess the next generations or just the younger generations were talking about these different weirded names, and I'm like, what the? Oh, you idiots talking about? And they'd be like, oh, we're talking about weed. And I'm like, it's space OG and these other weird names and gorilla stuff, Gorilla Glue, and
Right.
they have all kinds of weird names. I'm like, where do you get this from? When
They
we were getting it in
literally
the
just
street,
make it up
we didn't
off the
care-
top of their head.
Yeah, we didn't care what it was called. We cared what it was. Was it from Colombia? Colombian weed. Was it from Hawaii? Nice.
What happened to Panama Red?
That's all we cared
Come
where it was
on.
came
You
from.
can get it.
Panama Red.
Panama Red, yeah,
Jack Harrer.
Colombian Gold.
So the way you know if you're getting legit weed from, it doesn't matter what state you're in, is there are growers that are known growers that have won Cannabis Cup awards, growers that have what they call certified strains.
Right.
Okay, so you can check the certified strains and you can buy those, and generally they're going to be better. They're going to be cleaner. You're going to have a good fluffy flavor. It's going to have a good aroma about it. Because some of the
Yeah.
weeds you get, I've seen weed down here I would consider dirt weed.
Yes.
So a way a lot of these are being grown is just by throwing in the strongest chemicals possible to get them those terpenes and to get those flavors and to get those certain qualities that people are looking for when they go and smell it or when they look at it. And instead, of growing it in an organic sense, they're
Right.
throwing all of these chemicals in, which are technically the food for the plant, but it's turning it into this monster of a plant. Like it's just not what it's supposed to be anymore. It's become a whole new thing. It's beyond what it should be at this point.
Well,
You've
the
pumped it
bulk
full of steroids, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. The bulk of the strains nowadays are, and I don't remember the exact number, I think it's 3 times now from the 80s when we were getting it when I was a kid in the college years. It's 3 times more powerful.
And that's
We're
just,
getting-
in my opinion, it's
Yeah, we were getting like 6, 7, 8%, THC bags of weed.
Oh, where y'all getting?
it's
Y'all
getting
shit.
higher and higher.
But that's what
Yeah, I live in the South, man. Lowest
That's
thing
what
we've
you
ever
get.
seen. Illegal stuff like skunk was probably 17, 18%. Anything like Panama.
Yeah, but the average high school kid wasn't pushing out $150, $120, $200 for an ounce of that stuff.
Well, so
You're getting
first off,
it's lower.
when I started smoking weed, it was $30 for a lid, which was 4 fingers. That was about 2 ounces. Okay. Then somebody said, "Oh, we're going to invent cents a million," which of course meant weed without seeds in it. Didn't mean anything about the strain or how good it was. Just means it was seedless. Then it went to
There's no
$30
seeds,
a quarter. That's what it went down to, $30 a quarter. Right now, you can get a grade A pot that you'd find in any store for $50 an ounce. The only difference is these are weeds that normally get sold to the store, but they're being sold on the street because they're moving faster and the profit's more.
Well,
because they
and
have
also
the-
to be
the
fair,
cut.
the dispensary, or not the dispensaries, the growers for the dispensaries, they don't want you to get any of their seeds. They want to keep control of that stuff. So
Yeah, they do. Matter of fact, I got some last in my box and I got some seeds out of it. But see, like in Colorado, you can grow up to 8 plants at home and you can swap it. You can't never ask for cash for it, but you can swap it for a car. You can swap it for a hooker. You can swap it for anything you want. Or you can
Yes.
swap your weed for somebody else's weed, and that is legal
Yes.
to do. So why go to a dispensary when you can grow the shit at home and just swap it around, and it's not even costing you any money?
It's a
So-
currency at that point.
It is
Yeah.
a currency at that point. It
all
really
you
is.
got to do is
So
collect
in
seeds.
California, so y'all know, 6% of the population smoke weed. That's 3 million people out of 40 million. 3 million smoke. It's not that
And
big
it's
of a
not
chunk of change.
illegal to they can't even test for it in California on employment
Yeah, but
urinalysis.
Well, some things they can, but
I mean, don't you
certain
think
jobs
those
will
numbers
always
are going
be
to go
fine.
up? More states that go legal. I mean, think about it. Some
But it's
some
not,
states.
it's not, but that's the thing. It's not like cigarettes where there's a nationwide tax on it. It's
Yeah,
just taxed locally.
Think of the hassle of
it's
having
doing
to go
money.
to get the medical. A lot of people don't want to go through that hassle. They don't want the government to know that they have the medical marijuana license. They want to wait till they can buy it anonymously from the dispensary for recreation.
Why not? Why not, Jay? Why don't they want the government to know?
Well,
Because
there's a
it's
lot of
still
people. There's a lot of
federally
proponents in the population that don't want. They want to live off the grid. They don't want to have to. You have to submit your name and you go to a specific doctor or a specific group and line of doctors. They have only certified ones that can certify you for a marijuana purchasing license, yes or no. And it costs $200 or $300 for the doctor. And then depending on the state, 50 to 100, $200 for the license. And that's something you have to renew every year or every 2 years, depending on the state again. So it's a lot of hassle, red tape, money, and your name is entered into a computer that the government has access to, or at least the state government you live in. So, I mean, who wants to go through that hassle? I don't. They already have my information for driving a car. That's all they get.
It's all being tracked one way or another anyway.
Oh yeah,
But I think
regardless.
the fear is that it's only legal in certain states, but federally it's still a scheduled drug. It's still illegal. You could still get busted by the feds.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean the chances of that happening to some big millionaire dispensary owner are slim to none, because they're paying everyone off.
Casual user of 17% of the country, if those numbers are correct, then you know.
And remember, when they do that 17%, they're also including people who they don't think are reporting. So that's not even the official number. The official number is probably close to 11%. They're adding in another 6% that they think are hiding out and not saying anything. And they're also adding in the states where it's not legal in any way, like Texas.
Like I said, think about how many people are still buying from the street dealers.
And you're going to see more and more of that.
Street dealers' prices are matching the dealers, the dispensaries'
The
prices.
street dealers are always cheaper than dispensaries. Dispensaries are ridiculous. Come on. They want the cheapest you're going to find it down here for an eighth is $15, and that's garbage. The average price is $35 an eighth.
Yes.
So two eighths is a quarter. So 2 eighths is a quarter. That's $70. A half's 140. An ounce is $2.80. Yeah, you can get off the street. You can get freaking 3 ounces for $2.80 off the street, and be smoked it up for the next month, and you ain't getting an ounce from the and you know. And granted, they got a lot of funny names and funny flavors.
To be honest, in the DC area, even right now, I'll bet you 280 will probably get you about 2 ounces, maybe 2.5 ounces.
Where in DC? That ain't what. That's not what Leva tells me. She said it's fucking outrageously expensive there. She said the average eighth is $50.
Well, my friends
here in Illinois.
No, in Montgomery County, Maryland.
Yeah,
my friends in the 2000s, they were paying $80 to $120 for an eighth.
No, I believe it.
It's outrageous.
That's street weed.
The cheapest that I've seen here at the dispensaries for that amount is about $65, and it usually is about between $75 or $80 for a quarter. And there's only at the time there was one dispensary locally, and just in the last year 2 or 3 others have popped up, and they're all in competition with each other. They're all trying to put out deals.
You're going to see an oversaturation of dispensaries, and not just that, you're going to see an oversaturation of the amount of marijuana being
It'll just turn into another Starbucks, and it's going to decrease the quality of everything. And
wait, Leah, you want to hear the Starbucks Avenue? Listen to this. There are, I think, only 2 or 3 dispensaries in Hagerstown across the border in Maryland. One of them is a dispensary that's the biggest in its company and the most profitable at the moment. It was a bank. Yeah. So the building was built for a bank. So it actually has a vault with a combination lock that I guess the managers and the owners know. And that's where they store all of the product. And it has 3 or 4 drive-throughs.
Wow.
So people put an order online and they drive through.
And they use that vacuum tube?
Yes, they have those vacuum tubes. I don't know if they use those ones, but I think they're trying to get those working again. But yes, you go up to the drive-through and pick up your marijuana order.
Well, I like Cali because they deliver it.
I have nothing against it. All right. I'm not knocking it. I feel like people should do what makes them happy. But I am knocking the fact that they're decreasing the sacredness of it almost. The idea that it's supposed to be used as a medicine. It's supposed to be used as a sacred tool for healing. Yes, and now it's just been here's your next Starbucks cup.
It's a retail society. That's the only way to get it out. I mean,
they're exploiting the fact that people are out there looking for a reason to feel better, something that helps them feel better about their lives.
Even if it's only a placebo effect, it helps the rest of the population feel better, great. I'm all for that.
But they're exploiting that. The people that are out there making millions off of it, and
But you know what's so funny about that? Just last time I was in Cali, the Fed raided 3 places, took $144 million, and just took it. And you know what the dispensers could do? Nothing.
Nothing.
Because it's illegal. People forget that. It is still illegal. It's still a class 1 drug, and the feds can raid you anytime. And the feds, and people don't realize it. Like them 3 kids in the federal park in California. I mean, in Colorado, got 3 years for having a quarter ounce of weed with them because
I know somebody personally now who just literally got out of prison after serving 12 years in prison for a marijuana charge. A marijuana charge. 12 years. Took
but if it's on Fed territory,
most murderers, first-time murderers, don't spend 7 years in jail.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have all these already rich people who are getting away with it because they started out with millions of dollars. Like they were able to buy their way into the industry.
But you also bring up a good point that it's the especially the illegal aspect of it is a cash crop. I mean, think about all the people that are in jail for marijuana offenses, and think about all the contractors who go to those prisons to provide uniforms, bedding, medical supplies. There's probably guys who do contract out for the food. There's people who probably contract out for the utensils and things they use for the food. Think about all those companies that are getting huge amounts of money from the federal and state governments for providing
locking away people that are technically innocent.
Say that again?
For locking away people who are technically innocent.
I'm not disputing that, and I agree with you on that 100%. But the reason why that it's not happening, that those people aren't getting the reprieves they need, is because of the cash crop of all those industries that are contracting to those state and federal facilities to provide all those services, clothing, laundry services, et cetera, cleaning services, all the outside companies that provide support to the prisons. They're making bank. That's why you don't see these innocent people coming out. Those companies are making.
These days, the jails are so busy that for everyone that goes out, another 2 coming in. So it used to be that they had to control them better, but now there's just so many people going to jail. And they go for different things. And if you go for the Fed jail, you got to serve 2/3 of your time. When you go to a regular jail, you don't have to. But
I like what this guy Joe Fox said about it. It's been studied for like 100 years over in Germany and Britain, and it's been found out to be worth jack shite for a human's health. I know. Another big joke on the American people. So maybe it is the psychosomatic effect. Maybe it is the placebo effect. However, if somebody feels like it's helping them, like genuinely helping their lives, like helping their mental health, helping them cope with whatever they're going through, then it's helping, you know? Personally, I feel like I could live without it. I've been on both sides of that fence. And after not partaking in such a substance for so long, I can say that, you know, I actually feel better knowing that I don't need to wake up and, you know, feel like I need it. Yeah. But there's other things I need. I need to eat. There's, you know, you're going to replace it.
I haven't touched that. I haven't touched it in 30 some years. Okay. But what's really turning me off is this skunk weed. Because I'll be in the
skunky. What are you talking about? Give hate on some skunk.
I'll be gross. In the damn.
It's like the smelly cheese. It's the best stuff out there.
No, it's bullshit. Man, I walked in to the store, you know, took my mom shopping, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? Is there a skunk in this place?
Is that Sean talking?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like what he had to say because, to be honest, okay, so I've Ubered a lot recently, and I'm in an area where I pick up a lot of people who smell.
Yeah.
You could tell that it's off the street. So one thing that the dispensaries have been doing is making sure that, you know, they don't have to be on the streets to buy it if they don't want to. They can go and get it legally. They don't have to risk their lives but to be honest, the quality of it is better than what I've found here on the streets. It's yucky. It's gross. I could smell how gross it is.
It is gross. And my mom, God bless my mom. She lost her sense of smell because she can't smell, but I sure as hell can. And I get sick. I said, Mom, we got to go. We got to go to another owl because it's terrible, 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 terrible. Joe says, understood, Leah. I'm just saying people have been programmed to believe it's a cure-all just to get it legalized.
I agree. I think that
Well,
there's.
but-
Yeah, well, so
Is that wrong or is that
very
wrong or right
arguable.
tactic? You know?
But that's very arguable
Works.
because there are serious studies on marijuana and cancer, and there are serious results on it. So,
I think
when you talk about overseas, when you talk about overseas versus the United States, it's a much different way of looking at things. First off, Germany and Britain have about the same amount of people as fucking California do. They're not even in the same ballpark as we are. Second, we have a much bigger study base than Europe does. So we might know just a little bit more about what marijuana affects on people than the Brits and them do. And in a lot of places, the Brits know and the Germans know far more about law than we do, especially when it comes to like pedophiles and stuff like that. But stuff like this is a little bit different. There's a lot of good studies out there done by some pretty serious scientists and some pretty serious medical experts. Anytime you see like Johnson & Johnson or Harvard or anybody like that sign off on it, they've done some serious research. My thing of it is I don't think it's a cure-all. I do think it does help a lot of things. It helps with headaches. It helps with stomach aches. I know people all the time get sick, take a puff, they feel better almost instantly. Way faster than any Pepto-Bismol, any stuff like that does. Certain types of THC have been proven to fight cancer. Certain types. So every marijuana you smoke is going to have
cannabinoid receptors.
Good point to that.
in our brain.
There's a really graphic but good video. I think I saw it on YouTube. Anyone out there can search the interwebs for it. This guy had cancer on his nose, skin cancer, and there was like a hole that was in the side of his nostril. And you could actually see into the other, the middle part of his nose called the septum. It's kind of gross. But he started taking hash oil, this black gooey substance, and rubbing it on there every day, or I don't know how often. But he had done he did a time lapse thing on that area, and it eventually closed up and it killed the cancer. Now I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if that's for real or if it's just some kind of a special effect. I'll just let the audience, if they want to go search for it.
I always tell people when it comes to marijuana, take it for its value of being something that relaxes you and makes you goofy.
Even if it doesn't feel anything, people say they use.
It's better than cigarettes. It's better than tobacco. It's better than nicotine.
Yes. And it's no worse. It's no worse or harmful than alcohol. And a lot of people who use alcohol exclusively, what do they say when they get it? For medicinal purposes only.
So
bullshit. You're getting drunk, and we know it.
One of the reasons that cannabis hasn't been federally legalized is because of how alcohol and tobacco are the forerunners in what is considered legal. And I can do it because it's legal. And they use that as like a scapegoat to say I'm not doing anything wrong.
Another
I'm not
awesome
hurting anyone but myself.
Another awesome point, Leah, is they say marijuana, which is one of the worst drugs possible, being where it's scheduled, is the gateway drug to cocaine and cigarettes and booze, which are lesser scheduled drugs. And it seems it's the other way around. It's the addiction.
Then why is alcohol?
Alcohol is always going to be the opening drug. Almost everybody drinks before they smoke weed or do cocaine or anything else. So marijuana was always said to be, it's the drug no, it's not the gateway drug. Alcohol is the gateway drug.
Alcohol. And the first time I got drunk was like 10 years old. My dad's 30th birthday party.
Really? I was like 5 years old and my uncles were giving me beer. Come on.
So I feel like the alcohol and tobacco industries are fighting to keep marijuana from being federally legal because
they used to be. Now them and the cigarette company have decided to join the bandwagon to get on board and start opening their own plants and their own dispensaries and start mass producing it. So think of like if Winston decided to do marijuana, it would be $5 a pack or maybe $10 a pack for 20 joints. Because they would mass produce it in a way that you can't do it any other way. And
Most pre-rolls right now are around $15 for a 3/4 gram.
and I'm waiting for the filter. I'm waiting for the naysayers, the Karens.
The cones have a paper filter. It's basically like a filterless thing, but they have a
Yeah,
little.
Yeah.
well, man, but
I
I'm
think
waiting
what
for
people
it
are
because
afraid
you know if you're still smoking, you're still getting those carcinogens are still going
Yeah.
into your lungs when you're smoking marijuana. So
You're smoking
I'm waiting. It's
paper.
just a matter of time, man. It's
You're
just a
smoking
matter
a
of time.
wrap.
Now it's
Well,
supposed to
some of
be
the paper
pure
is made
hemp
from rice,
paper,
and some
but
of it's
still.
made from cannabis. So
You got to get yourself a volcano.
it
Joe
is. I'm
Fox,
not making that up.
Boy, Joe, you're right
Joe
about that,
Fox.
man.
Anything that uses fire.
Joe says 3 more years of Biden will be the gateway for me to
Oh yeah,
Don't
we'll all be
crack.
doing crack
Don't do
then,
it.
buddy.
Don't do it. I
Oh,
tried
you
that
know
stuff
what?
in the
I like
80s.
what Joe, I
That
like
stuff
what
is
Joe had
nasty.
to
That
say
stuff is
earlier.
worse for your
Before
lungs than
that,
cigarettes.
he said, "I have an open mind to anything." Why can't we have an open mind? If it makes you happy, makes you feel good, then do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, see, my problem with all of this is the same thing. Okay, smoking marijuana is one thing. Concentrates are another thing.
Yeah, they
So
have concentrates.
the highest THC level you're going to see in Cali is like 40%. Down here, it's going to probably be about 30%. The average is probably 15, 16, somewhere, 17, maybe 22, 23, somewhere in that area.
Here
Okay.
it ranges from 16 to up to 34s for the flower, and it's the average is probably in the 22 range, and then the vapes are like 80s, 90s.
Yeah, the concentrates are 100%. So you're now smoking something that you'd have to smoke a whole ounce of weed at one time to get this concentrate in your blood. This is like
Well, it's the
doing
same thing with nicotine vapes. It's you're basically smoking the equivalent of like a pack in like 3 or 4 puffs, but not a pack, like almost a carton.
No,
so. But see, that's the problem, though.
dude. I looked that up. It's a
Oh yeah, it must be closer to a pack.
yeah.
But the problem with all of that is okay. Smoking pot. You start doing vapes that are 80, 60, and 80%. You start doing concentrates 100%. That's why people have died from marijuana now. There was no deaths to marijuana until legalization of marijuana, and now people have died from. Several people have not died.
And even if you do it judiciously, you'll eventually get an immunity to it. It won't even affect you. You will no longer get the high. You'll have to quit.
But by that time, you may have killed 3 or 4 people. So you've got 2 big problems across the whole country. Kids eating edibles, kids eating cookies, kids eating gummies. Colorado has had such a big increase of children in the hospital due to overdose of marijuana, which I didn't think you could overdose from marijuana.
Well, and probably some animals too, home pets, dogs and cats and chinchillas and whatnot's getting a hold of the, because certain pets, if they know where treats are, they're going to try to get to them. In the state of Maryland, I don't know how it is in Pennsylvania because I don't have a medical marijuana license, but in Maryland, I know the law is when you go from the dispensaries, it has to be in the trunk. Whatever you just bought from the dispensary has to be in your truck.
Where I live right now, there's a dispensary up the street from me.
Yeah, there's one about half an hour from me in Chambersburg.
Yeah, but we have one in Pennsylvania, one right up the street from me.
Oh, we have more than one.
Shit. Right, I'm not kidding you. Right across the bridge from me in Bay St. Louis, there is 7 in a town with 6,000 people.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. That's
and
crazy.
then if you go to Waveland, which is a block further away, there's another 6. So there's 12 in the population of 15,000 people. It's outrageous.
Crazy. That's crazy.
There's, like I said, in Hagerstown across the street in Maryland, there's 3 dispensaries in the state in that city, which is actually less than the amount of McDonald's per corner on average per city.
But it is nice to see that it has dragged the price down. They were all sitting at 35 was the cheapest you could get. Now the cheapest you can get is 15. So it has dragged the price down. And it really needs to be because marijuana is not that expensive to grow. It's ridiculous when you see some of the prices on these things. You're like, wait, what?
It's called a weed because it grows like one.
Oh, and they say, oh, it's because we have to buy all this equipment. Okay, that's the first year. You done bought all the equipment. Now what's your excuse the second and third and fourth year for all this outrageous shit? Now they say it's because the taxes are so high. Well, I don't know what they pay the state themselves, but I know the tax to us is only 10%. So, and what they might pay the state 20%. So that's still 70% profit margin. We'll say it's only a 50% profit margin. It's still an outrageous amount of money. And this would, and I told this was going to happen. This is one of another reasons the Senate hasn't made this the Congress and Senate hasn't changed this yet, the House and Senate, is because we have had deaths associated with marijuana now. You know, the edibles were stupid. I told everybody when they were doing it, I said, guys, all edibles are going to do is slow down the process of legalizing marijuana. I said, y'all, and besides that, most people I notice when they do edibles don't have a clue what they're doing. I watched this guy just not even 2 months ago. We stopped, got him some cookies. I told the guy at the dispensary, I said, give him the lowest yield you possibly have. He said, really? I'm like, yeah, which was like 7%. So he got home, he ate a cookie. An hour,
And then he ate another.
40 minutes later, he ate another.
Oh, 40 minutes ago.
40 minutes later, he ate another. Then 30 minutes after that, he ate another. Then all of a sudden, about a half after that, he was getting ripped. Well, marijuana don't make you like that. That's not a marijuana high. I don't know what kind of high that is. But that's not a marijuana. Oh, that's marijuana, Joe. Marijuana ain't never done that to me before.
That's the huge problem with the edibles is no one reads the instructions. If you read the instructions, it clearly states eat one and wait at least 45 minutes to an hour before deciding whether to eat any more. And that's for a little tiny gummy, and that's for a cookie or a brownie, whatever the edible is.
Oh, that's like the guy. That's like
Leah's
Henry.
eating a cookie.
I'm eating peanuts.
Peanuts.
So I watched this guy one time. I was out in LA. He's popping gummies like they're real candy, 5, 6 at a time. I'm thinking, dude.
No!
So later on at night, he passed out in the lobby. Yeah, he passed out in the lobby. Nobody could get him up. That's not a marijuana high.
No.
That's like doing acid or something.
That's like doing an opiate.
That's what I said. You would be absolutely hallucinating.
So, you know, you're taking away what should be a recreational marijuana, and you're turning it into something that eventually the government's going to buck up against.
Well, I mean, but it's typical of all the industries. I mean, they candified cigarettes. You can still go to the retro candy stores and buy candy cigarettes.
Not down here.
They candified beer. You can go to almost any beer store and look at how candified it is. When I was working at the liquor store in college down in Savannah, we had this big brandy snifter jar on the counter by the register with vodka shots in it. And they were packaged like, you know, those ice cream things you get that are like about this long. You put them in the freezer, and then they have like grape and cherry and whatever. Well, they had grape and cherry and lime, but they were vodka shots that you put in the refrigerator that turned to Jell-O shots. And every mom who came in for cooking cherry, their kids are always trying to reach into this jar and grab one. I'm like, sorry, son, you can't have that. And they're like, well, I like that. I'm like, it's for adults. The kids couldn't get past the fact that there was alcohol. And just even remember how many times I explained it to them. But they candified it. They made it was completely attractive to children.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
it's
much.
No problem. Yeah, you can go down there, get coffee whenever you want.
Think about that. They're doing the same thing with marijuana. They're candy
Sometimes
buying.
it's out though.
Okay. Leah got some coffee. That's cool.
Don't you
I don't
agree
know.
with all the edibles, all those candies? I mean, did they have
I
turned it
you know what? To be honest with you, and we were talking this before the show, I haven't touched a drug in 35 years.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what the hell you all talking about. To be honest
Well,
with you.
You know, like gummy bears, they have candy gummy bears. There are edibles that are gummy candies, just like gummy bears for kids, but they have THC and marijuana effects in them. And people are, like Joe said, eating them, 5 and 6 and 10 at a time, and then having, episodes because they're not reading the instructions, and they think, oh, it's, this whole bag is going to get me a high. It's not 1 or 2 or 3 of them max, and then you're probably, like Joe said, flipping out.
Things make me paranoid for some reason. I don't know, sometimes when it makes me paranoid. I don't know why, and I've never been paranoid for marijuana before. I'm like, wow. Joe gave me some cookies one time. I ate one, and then I ate a half, and I was so paranoid I almost had to lock myself in the bathroom or something. I was like, what?
So
the hell?
where does that paranoia come from? Why does it trigger?
I wish I knew where the paranoia came from. Like I said, I've never been paranoid from marijuana before. I was like, what the bleep?
It's a common symptom of all overdosing because you get that same feeling when you're really, really drunk. You get paranoid that people are after you. You're watching the cop shows, you see these idiot drunks, they're like, oh, they're after me. And then finally they lock the dude up.
I
don't know. It's weird. I mean, it just, I don't know. I've never been paranoid like that. I mean, I've got friends that can't smoke pot because, even hitting the joint makes him paranoid.
The
My
first
stepson
date I
said
went
he
on with,
looks at one,
you
he's
know-
paranoid.
you know who, right, Joe? The first
Yeah.
date we ever went on, I had a super bad anxiety attack. The first time we ever went out, and I came back to his house, and so like basically he called the police on me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was our first date. Cannabis-induced anxiety attack followed by being apprehended by the authorities and taken to the hospital for anxiety.
Or observation, yeah.
But it felt different. It felt like something else. It felt like, that paranoia that comes about is more primal. It feels like
It does feel like it is a deeper kind of.
it does.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I've done a lot of drinking. I've drank till I passed out before, so it's that never makes me paranoid, and pot never makes me paranoid. But just one time, I mean, I was like, I couldn't even sit still. I was making me freaking crazy. I was like, Jesus. I finally understood what all my friends were always whining and bitching about being paranoid. And I just looked and I was like, oh man, I never, because I used to always pick on them and stuff. Oh, you bunch of wussies. Come on, how pot make you paranoid? Get out of here, man. And then I guess after that time, and that wasn't that long ago. It was a couple of years back. I was like, man. So, and I'm a veteran pot smoker, so I'm kind of like, what the hell? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I'll give up for a couple of years and then come back, but it's just like alcohol to me. It's just when I feel like doing it, I do it. When I don't, I don't. But but if I didn't smoke, I would. My brain explodes. I don't even know how to
Like you
explain
can't
it.
stop it, huh?
Man, it
thoughts just
it is like I took the effing chains off, and it just goes.
That's
and
what I'm
it's
going
shit.
through right now.
Yeah, I bet, because it's like shit just rushing in different directions, stuff going
I
on
get
all
no
over.
rest.
Getting serious. It just knocks your REM sleep out. Even though somewhere you're getting some, it doesn't feel like you're getting any. It's freaky.
No, dude.
And
No,
it takes
I
a while.
never sleep.
It does. I mean, last time it took like 2 years to get past that. So it's matter of fact, I didn't ever get past it. I was at a casino one night and started drinking again, and I said so I could sleep. I was like, I gotta sleep, but I'd rather smoke weed than alcohol. So
I've been having
Yeah, but
these issues.
in your defense, Joe, it's really, really hard to smoke alcohol.
yes, it is. I've tried. I have dipped joints in alcohol before. Oh, I've actually filled my bongs with Rebel Yelp. Don't ever do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we used
Anybody
to,
listening under the age of
make
18,
a pipe out of it.
do not fill your bong with alcohol, especially anything like 160 or higher. Oh my God, you hit it, you're like, the weed, you ain't gonna worry with the weed. The alcohol rush, you're just like,
Did that burn going in your lungs?
man, you can't even tell. You're so loaded afterwards. Oh man! And a good friend of mine had a 4-foot bong. What do you mean? Yes, the weed check. A good friend of mine had a 4-foot bong, and talk about you'd fill it up, and you'd get it all the way full. You get a good vacuum, and you just pop the little thing. And I have watched so many people just fall back and pass out from it.
That's probably from lack
Well,
of
okay,
oxygen
to-
to the
to-
brain, to be honest.
Problems with that is those 4-foot bongs. You can still get them. Graphics makes them, but you have to lean it way far back to actually activate it, and that's part of the reason why I think people are falling backwards. But also, it's just so much your brain is turned off temporarily.
Dude,
Yeah.
no, your brain's not getting the oxygen
You
it
are
needs to function.
right out.
Yeah.
Your brain is
And
losing
then a friend
oxygen.
of mine said he could
Exactly
never
right.
get
All the
enough.
oxygen is cut off to your brain temporarily.
Well, a friend of mine, Randy, made one that blows it into your face. You put an oxygen mask on, and it just blows it nonstop.
Insane.
We didn't have quite that. We had what we called the rhinoceros. It was a face mask with a pipe that came out this way with a shotgun at the end. And you just go
Oh
with
my
your
And
God.
what was it?
and
And
you
what was it when
breathe
they-
your nose and your mouth. It was, oh my God, it was harsh, especially with like
What
that
do they call it? What the
Listen,
hell?
all you
Yeah,
guys-
you bunch of Gen Xers. Tell me.
Listen. So,
baby boomers.
Gen Xers.
so what was it
I'm
called?
not
They put
any
the
of
paper
them.
bag over your head, tear out the corner, and fill it up with smoke. Oh, and make you
Yeah,
hyperventilate. I forget that was the name for it.
How did we get from talking about Trump to talking about 4-foot?
Because we're all gonna get high if Trump goes to jail. That's why.
You made the segue, Leah, is that now
Yeah,
Trump is
even-
going to
even
jail.
Sean
He
didn't
can get
start
weed
smoking till
easier
Trump
than
goes to
anybody
jail.
because jail has all the weed. So that's where we
You,
got.
let me ask
No,
you a
but wait.
question
So
about
let's
that.
talk
If he
about
goes
this for a minute. Well, go ahead, Sean. Before we go,
If he does go to jail, are they just going to give him one whole wing to himself?
Well, they're gonna have to have
Something's
Secret Service there. Yeah,
Yeah.
all presidents have to. But if I remember right, he's gonna go to Fed prison, which will probably be in Texas.
Will he
Or
have guards?
Bermuda.
Like, will he have guards 24/7?
He'll have
Yeah.
Secret
he has to
Service.
have Secret Service, yeah. He'll have
Or
to
is
have
he
Secret
gonna
The
be
Service.
guards
there.
and his Secret
Is he gonna
Service,
end up
all
being
of them will be
Epstein?
keeping him
Yeah,
inside.
well, we
that
thought what we said, and nobody's going to go for him having other than Secret Service. Besides that, Obama passed a law that they get Secret Service for life, so it doesn't matter where he's at. You're not going to trust the justice, especially if it's in New York. Oh my God, they would be humiliating him every day they had a chance. No, rich people don't go to jail like we go to jail. Like our governor, when he went to jail, he had conjugal visits and dinners and all sorts of stuff. It's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
Special
More than
meals for
likely,
him.
I wouldn't be surprised if they held the G7 in prison with him.
Yeah.
but they're not going to be able to keep if he
Right.
wins, they're not going to be able to keep him in jail. So they might as well just get over that.
The G7 from Ward G or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. He ain't going to jail. He's not. Democrats.
Well, he's already said he's going to appeal it, so that's going to stretch that out well beyond the
But
election.
you don't know what this Judge Marchin's going to freaking do. Maybe he'll say, well, I don't like that idea, so we're not going to let him appeal.
Oh,
And-
we don't
and
have a choice on that. That ain't his choice.
I
Right.
don't have any choice.
Right.
I
The
think it's automatic.
Court of Appeals judges, who's going to step up and say, no, Donald Trump cannot, we can
Well, all
appeal.
the appeal court's got to say is there may be we're going to give him an appeal based on this trial may not have been on the up and up. That's all they got to say.
You can,
And I mean,
you
there's
can probably
plenty of
get
evidence for that.
the fact it was a unanimous decision on all 34 counts. And how long did they take them to deliberate all on that?
Not long at all. He sent them home at 2:30.
34 counts, unanimous decision across the board. That something, I mean, something's fishy in this. There's no other answer to it than political attack upon a political attack.
Now, here's the conspiracy
Yeah,
going
money.
on right now. George Soros paid each one of those jewelers $1.2 million.
Well, you'll find that out because somewhere that money will show up.
Where's my 1.2 million? He could give 1.2 million to everybody on the United States and not be, going to the poorhouse.
It wouldn't
What's
even
going to happen is
get
Trump's
this
going to
law.
appeal this as he didn't get a fair trial. That's
Yeah.
how he's going to appeal it. He didn't get a fair trial, and he thinks it's going to need to be taken out to New York venue. And anybody who goes against that's going to look like that this is politically motivated. And then even if the New York Supreme Court says no, he can still to do it with the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court will take it up, and they're going to say, "Oh yeah, we think there was some funky monkey business here. We want this trial held in a different state." And that's not saying Trump was innocent or good. That's saying that they think something was funky and they want it held in a different
Supreme
state.
Court could
And they don't
overturn
even have to explain why. If they don't want to, they can just do it.
the Supreme Court. All they need is what, 7 judges
Yes.
to turn it over, to turn the decisions
Actually,
over.
they only need 5.
5. So boom.
Yeah.
If I
They
was
got
turn it
6.
over, boom.
Yeah, they've
No
got
charge.
6 votes.
Joe,
But have you noticed something? Whenever they found him guilty, no one was, doing like what happened with BLM when George Floyd died, going and tearing down cities and shit.
Because
You know what I
Republicans
mean? It
don't
was-
do that. Democrats do that. Republicans don't do that kind of shit. Democrats do that.
Mhm.
That's not what Republicans are. It's not what they're about. They're not about
that was
destroying
a psyop
property.
anyway. Like, that was like set up because they wanted to destroy the infrastructure from the inside out. Like, they wanted to destroy those areas that are
Democrat ran.
right. So they got their own people to do it for them. They got the people who are trying to, that look like they were on the fighting side to basically destroy themselves.
Just think about what's going on, like what bringing them immigrants into Chicago. More than likely Biden will win Illinois, but in Chicago, man, them residents there are just like, I would see a civil war start there.
Oh yeah, no, that it is a war zone. I'm terrified of being in Chicago. Like, I don't ever want to go back. There's no reason.
Okay.
Like
I-
what's
I've
the point?
never been, but New York was kind of scary. I don't mind going back to New York, but I was lucky enough the few times I actually visited New York City. Upstate New York's very lovely, by the way, but I got to go up in the Twin Towers, or at least one of them. I didn't go up in both of them, but whichever one, I forget which one it was, but one of the two had an observation level at, like, I don't remember what level it was, 110, 111, whatever. But it was amazing to, I mean, I'm scared of heights at this point when I was doing this. And then I looked out those windows and, the building's doing this number, back and forth, left and right. It's swaying in the wind. But yeah, all of the cities, there's just so many people there. I grew up in DC, which has, I don't know how big a population, but not the level of New York or Los Angeles, 9, 10, 20
Right.
million
Los
people.
Angeles is terrifying too. Like, I
Yeah.
used to live there, and
Don't they have like 8 lanes of traffic going
Yeah, it's
both
ridiculous.
ways, both
in
directions?
some
8 lanes.
areas, yeah,
Wow.
huge. There's a lot of people. And honestly, I can understand why there's some people out there. I mean, I don't understand it, but I can see why they would think that there's just too many people on the planet. But they
It's-
don't.
We've
There are
explained
a
that.
lot of people.
Yeah. We've explained that a couple shows ago. It's there isn't a population problem on the planet. There's a population density problem. We all live too close together. Where I live is fairly close quarters. I grew up in a place where there was at least 10 yards between my house and the next house without a fence.
Dude,
That's where I grew up in the suburbs.
where I live right here in my house, my neighbor's not even a foot away from me on either side. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do live in a duplex, so my neighbors are probably 12, 16 inches away on the other side of.
But you know what? It's crazy because whenever I go on vacation and I'm out in the country and vacation away from the city, I get kind of paranoid. I don't like living out there where I can't see a lot of people. I need ambulances. I need police. I need noise. When it's all peace and quiet, man, that
Where
freaks
do you
me
live,
out.
Sean?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
You're a very busy city. You sound like the Joe Pesci's character in My Cousin Vinny. I'm the exact opposite. I don't mind the country. I'm not a big. I'd rather prefer glamping than camping, but I'd rather prefer peaceful and quiet than busy and noisy stuff. Nate, I wouldn't call myself a naturalist or a naturist, but I enjoy.
Not me, man. I tell you what, I need to hear shit. I need to hear police. It sounds crazy when I'm out. I need to hear trucks going up and down the interstate. I need to hear that. If I don't hear it, I'm freaking out. I cannot sleep.
Sean, you would be proud of me. I've got a good story for you. It was my second Star Trek convention ever. Me and a bunch of my friends went to in Baltimore. It's called Shore Leave, really cool place. But it was in this hotel that was, I think it was 16 or 17, 20 stories tall. We went up we specifically asked for the highest unoccupied level, and they put us on level 15 stories up. So it's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I don't remember which night, Friday night or Saturday night. We made so much noise on an empty floor in this hotel room that someone in that building called the police on us, and a police helicopter buzzed our hotel room and beamed a spotlight and literally blinded everybody while we were in there smoking, partying, drinking, and just carousing. The police from the helicopter told us to be quiet.
Sweet, man.
Think about how much noise you must make to qualify getting the helicopter by the police sent over.
That would be insane. But I tell you what, I'm afraid of heights. I can't even watch it on TV, dude. Honest to God, I see it and then I get all squirmy inside.
I lost my fear of heights operating lift equipment in warehouses. So thank God for that.
I'm definitely afraid. I'm good if I go up. I'm not that good if I go up to a dive board, which is like only 6 foot. I cannot. Honest to Pete.
I don't know where I acquired my fear of heights, but at one point when I was 2 or 3, I did a high dive. I went up onto the highest dive they had. I think it was a 15-foot, 3-meter high board. and I in a silver sequence bathing suit. I went to the end of the board and I went, "Hi, Mom," and jumped off. That was my special dive. And then after that, I was afraid of the high dive for forever until I was a lifeguard at the age of 13, and
Not
I
me,
got over
man.
the fear of that diving board. But any other time I would get on my tippy toes, I'd get dizzy. That's how much I was afraid of heights.
Wow, that's crazy. So is Trump going to jail, guys, ladies and gents?
It shouldn't be. Actually, I would think he would get house arrest. Is what I would think he would get. Get an ankle on his thing. But see, they're going to have a problem right now. He's running for president. We're 5 months out from the election, and all of a sudden you're going to tell him he can't leave the state of New York.
Yeah, that who him? The New Yorkers.
The judge can say whatever he wants. The judge can put him in jail. The judge can give him house arrest. The judge can say, okay, you don't have to go to jail, but you can't leave the state of New York. He can do all of that.
At some point, though, once the appeal is filed, he can't be jailed for much longer than 72 hours or something to that effect.
And
Well,
he's not going to go to jail at all because he's in Florida. He ain't coming back to New York.
Yeah.
He's like
Right.
screwed off.
Well, doesn't the judge understand? I mean, if he's thinking keeping Trump into New York and he can't go nowhere, this whole shit show is broadcasted all over the world. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean,
Nobody but the Democrats think this is legit. And even a lot of the Democrats don't think this is legit. I mean, when you get right down to it, you took cases that were already had gone past the statute of limitations and changed the rules so that you could go after a president who was murdering your candidate that you were backing.
true. Isn't I thought I saw on YouTube where there was a senator and she left the Democratic Party. Have you heard that? She
I've
just-
heard, there's been several people who left the Democratic Party in the last few weeks, in the last few months. And you've got some big names that have left as well. Like Kennedy have left, Tulsi Gabbard had left. These are people who were revered in the party that are now either Republicans or independent. So there's been a few others that left.
Well, that senator from West Virginia went independent. He left the Democratic Party.
Yeah, because this is a joke. Nobody, like I said, with the exception of last time I checked, 40% of Democrats thought this was legit. Nobody else in the country thought this was legit. I think it was something like 84% or 82% of Americans think this is politically motivated and this is probably not real. And no one thought that Trump should be convicted on Cohen's. I think the poll for that was like 90% of America thought Cohen was lying, that he was a liar and shouldn't be trusted. So, but yet this judge and these juries, that Trump said in the beginning, there was no way he could get a fair trial here. He said that in the very beginning. His lawyer said it too. So all this did was prove it, reinforce it. Put this case in Ohio and see if he goes to jail. I bet you he don't. You can even put it in Virginia, and I bet you he don't go to jail.
Right. True.
Even though Virginia's a blue state, you could put it in Virginia. He's still go. Only place he's going to jail is in New York or California. That's it. Nobody else is going to do it. Even Colorado wouldn't.
And they're really, really Democratic, are they not?
Yeah, they're Colorado right now is I think 40%. But
Have you checked the polls at all about after he was
Convicted.
Have you checked the polls?
I predict 5% increase in his polls, at least coming up in the next week or so.
So what you get is this is what you're getting right now. And the reason you're getting this is because the Democrats are trying to do everything they can to make this into something, even though the majority of Americans already knew the outcome and didn't care. When you asked, 90% of Americans said this was going to be the outcome. So when you have that many people in your country saying it, not because they think he was guilty, but just because it was motivated, you've got a problem. And this is just hurting the Democrats long term. They don't get it. Every time they heard Trump, his numbers go up. They just don't understand. They didn't understand this in the first election when they kept attacking him with Russia. I kept telling everybody, the more you do this, the more his numbers go up. And he had an easy cruise over Hillary. And it's the same thing here. They just keep pushing it. And then like some of the blacks who have come out, some of the Hispanics have come out and said they feel like Trump understands their plight more now. He's an
Right.
innocent man. They changed the rules to put him in jail. He's being persecuted for no reason other than he's Trump. So a lot of racists now think, oh, he understands how we feel now, and he
Right.
said what he has. So that's hurting the Democrats. Plus, Joe Biden keeps saying that the economy is fixed, and I love the one today that came out. Oh, we don't think the economy is going to make much of a difference in this election. Really? Really?
Come on, dude.
I mean, what fantasy world are you living in?
How many of the polls have stated that the younger generation are voting because they think Trump will make the economy better and that it's worse under Biden?
Yeah, well, it was a big chunk last time we checked it, and I don't think that's going to change. So you'll see, like Axios, they're saying that Trump's still ahead, but it's a tight race. Well, that's also, by the way, these are mostly Democratic things. So let's go to this one. This one is Roanoke College. This is definitely Democrats, but yet Biden and Trump tied in Virginia. So Trump was losing in Virginia just 2 weeks ago by 4 points. Remember?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was winning in West Virginia, but he was losing in Virginia. Actually, he was losing by 7 points. So now he's tied. So you stupid Democrats, to a state you usually win, you just gave it to Trump.
Right.
Right. You got to wonder who runs his party anymore. I was so happy when I left the freaking party. It's an embarrassment to us. As an Americans, the Democratic Party has become an embarrassment. When you have people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, it's just a joke. Let's see what we got down here. This is CNN. CNN, unusual turnout of dynamic that could decide the 2020 election. Let's see what they got to say. Gotta love CNN, people. Now, y'all don't hate on CNN. They used to be the Desert Storm Network.
Yeah.
They were brave and had balls the size of the White House. I mean, they were the shit. Well, I will tell you when it lets me get in there.
Get this. I think this is Reuters. It says May 30th to 31st. I guess 2,556 pollees, 34% Biden, 33% Trump. What? And it says Biden +1. Give me a break.
Of course, that's Reuters. They're pro Democrat, which they shouldn't be. They're not supposed to be. They're pro.
Wow.
So let's see. The unusual turnout dynamic. For decades, Democrats have built their election strategy. We don't care about all of that. But the familiar no longer applied to President Joe Biden. Americans are definitely worried about the economy. A wide range of polls show Biden running best among Americans with consistent history of voting. While former Donald Trump strength is among people who have the least likely to vote. Really? So what you're saying is the red people don't vote?
Wow.
I mean, you have to look at these polls and say, and by the way, that says absolutely nothing. It doesn't tell you which one is more.
Right.
So we know the truth. There are more non-voters in the United States than there are voters.
Right.
I mean, the turnout's what, 30%, 40% sometimes? That means 60% of the voters are not turning out. Well, if that's true, Biden just got his ass kicked. So let's see. NBC polls conducted in a bipartisan team. Oh, bipartisan NBC. Give me. There is not nobody bipartisan at NBC. Sometimes I wonder who writes this shit. And CNN, why are you not using NBC polls when you could be using your own polls? Let's see. In 2022, Trump led Biden by 12% points. Trump swelled 20% points among those. In 2020, you're so full of shit. We're talking about 2020. This is 2024. And you can say what they're trying to say, that Trump was so far ahead in the last election that there was no way he could lose. Well, I never seen him ahead. Almost every poll I've seen in 2020, he was behind on. So this is just an outright lie, is what this is. This is exactly what this is. Combined results of the New York Times, the Siena College polls, NBC have found Biden narrowly leading among political 2024 voters. That's what it says. So not one of these, by the way, not one of these has any Republicans voting there. The New York Times no self-respecting conservative is going to vote, take a poll there. Senior college, no self-respecting conservative is going to take a poll there. Let's see if they're going to be honest. Has been conducted perhaps the most ambitious attempt to qualify. So this was the University of Chicago to survey 2,400 adults. And what are they trying to say? They're trying to say that Biden led Trump by 11 points. So people, now remember, so you already know these polls are fixed polls, so you don't even have to worry about that. New York, Chicago and New York are big blue cities. There's nobody voting for Trump in those cities, not even close to voting for Trump in those cities. But you notice they won't do a worldwide poll, a nationwide poll or a state poll to say who's going to vote for them in their own state. You notice they won't go there.
Right.
Because every other poll, Trump is kicking his ass. So CNN earlier today tried to say, "Oh, it's going to hurt him in the whatchamacallit states. What do they call them?
Swing.
Yeah, the swing states. Well, he's ahead in the swing states. Some of the swing states he's ahead by 10 points. I hate to tell y'all, but I think you Democrats. So when the polls get all cleared out over the next week, that's probably what this judge is waiting for.
What do you think is going to happen when future generations are just like, I don't want to vote. I don't believe in this, that,
then they're going to give it to the Democrats.
Antiquated practice that is not
It's
necessary.
never antiquated, but voting is never antiquated. Voting is what makes this country what it is. Without it, we're just another little communist country like China.
But don't you think that there will come a time where like future generations just won't want to take part in that anymore?
Not unless something happens in a major cheat way or something.
Well, get this, guys. Here's a poll I just read. This poll was, will the conviction affect your vote on Trump? 27%. And like 2,500 some odd people were polled. 27% said it won't cause them to vote for Trump. 26% said it will make them vote for Trump, and 39% said it makes no difference to them.
So basically, 7% of Americans don't care. Yeah, and even the 27% still aren't going to vote for Biden. So that's what I think the Democrats missed. Even if he lost some votes, they weren't going to Biden, so Trump's still going to be ahead.
But you got to figure in too. You got Kennedy running, and he's definitely going to take some votes off of Biden.
Well, according to CNN and NBC, he takes them away from Trump.
That's right.
Well, okay. So here's some clarity on this poll, though. The 27% who said the conviction decision won't affect their decision to vote for Trump, it didn't clarify whether they were already voting for him or not. So how many percentage of that 27 were already going to vote for him?
Oh, it also showed earlier today that 60% of people that was teetering will definitely vote for Trump now. So
yeah, well,
I don't think the Democrats realize what's going on here.
Those 26% of the people who said it won't affect their vote, that they will vote for Trump, were they already voting for him, or were they on the fence? It doesn't. The poll didn't clarify on those at all. There's clearly 39% either are on the fence or don't care one way or the other. They're going to still vote whichever way they wanted. So all three categories, there's no clarification which way they wanted to vote anyways. So the poll really means nothing. And it basically, it's a wash anyway. It's 53% to 39. It's not even full 100%. It's 93%. What happened to the other 7%? There's no way there was a 7%, margin of error.
So wait, we're on the 538 poll site. Now remember, 538 is almost always, most of them are going to be they're going to be liberal. So the first set is the IPS polls. That's Reuters. They have Biden on up by a point, Biden up by 2 points, Biden up by a point, Trump up by 2 points, Trump tied, Reuters again, Forbes. Of course, Forbes is another big. Forbes is also, what is Forbes? It's blue, but wait, Forbes is contradicting Reuters. So Forbes says got Biden up by 2, Forbes has Biden up by 3.
They're padding their numbers in reaction to this conviction because they know Trump's numbers are going to start to rise starting tomorrow.
But see, what's going on here should be illegal. So Emerson College, he's up. Trump's down by 10. The Hill, Trump's down by 6. Now remember, everything we're mentioning here is blue. There's no red in here at all. These are just people that are on there. So now here they're going to have. They dropped in the red when the Christian Press. Trump's beaten Biden by 3 points. In both the Christian polls. Morning Government, Trump's winning by a point. Breakfast Battleground, Trump's winning by 3 points. The Tyson's Group, Trump's winning by 3 points. So when you get out of the strictly blue, Trump is blowing them out. And even in the strictly blue, it's very close. See, this is why Democrats are so scared right now. And this is what all this was about. So we're talking Reuters and Forbes, which is a completely blue thing. And Forbes has Trump winning. Forbes actually is predicting Trump to win. So just one of your biggest blue allies are going, oh, y'all are effed up. Y'all are really, really effed up. And that's 538. We're going to move on to some other polls and see what we see. But what are we going to go to right here? We just went over there. Nah, we don't care about any single colleges. We don't care about that. Well, here's 370 to win. Let's go see what it says.
When are you taking a break at all?
Not tonight because I don't have no control over anything.
I do. I have the control. So
Oh,
I
do
can.
you?
So
If
I
you
can
don't have to
throw
wait
in.
till
I can throw in 70 seconds, 100 seconds.
Well, we're gonna have to put on a song or something. But if we take a break,
I put a song in the queue in the private chat.
How in the hell do you do that, Jay?
Look under.
I can't show you on my phone.
If you look on the private chat screen to your right, you may have to click on a different tab, but you'll see I'll send the message again. Oh,
Can you put it up on yours?
I don't have control to share it. I don't think you'd have to share it.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll
Oh, I can't go to.
I'll Facebook Messenger it to you.
Oh my. I might be.
There, check your
bumped out of
messenger.
here.
Okay, I got these polls up. We ain't going nowhere until we go through these, and this includes Kennedy. They asked me if I wanted third-party candidates, so I had them put it in, which have Kennedy,
Kennedy
West.
in there, yeah.
Well, they got Kennedy, West, and Stein.
Oh wow.
So, national poll taking today after everything's happened. Trump is up by 2 points. Let's see, New York, Biden is holy shit. Biden is only up by 5 points. He was last week. He was up like 15
5 points.
Ooh, New York, what's going on in New York? Virginia, they are tied. Last week he was up by 7 points, according to this. They are now tied in Virginia. Michigan, Trump's up by 2. Arizona, Trump's up by 5. Georgia, contested state, Trump is up by 7. Massachusetts, Trump. So Mass has got quite a few of these. So we're going to go through one at a time. But so in this one, he's down by 29%. Oh, in Nevada, which is another swing state, he is up by 8%. That's 2 points up from last week. Ooh, this court really hurt him. Oh shit. New Hampshire. Oh, in New Hampshire, he's only down by 1%. Damn. He's only down by 1% in New Hampshire. Democrats, y'all are in deep shit. North Carolina, he is up by 8 points. Pennsylvania, Trump is now up by 3 points. Thank you, New York.
Yes.
Last week, remember, he was below last week. He was in the blue last week. Rhode Island. Now Rhode Island. You know, people, I got friends in Rhode Island. Screw y'all. He's up by Biden's up by 19 points. South Dakota, Trump is up by 19 points.
And the aliens have duplicated Sean. Oh, there he goes.
Wisconsin, which was a swing state. Trump is up by 1%, but that's because we got some of these upstarts in there. They got 8% each. Tennessee, Trump is up by 18%. Texas, Trump is up by 10%. Florida,
18. You said 18%.
yeah, in Tennessee, yeah.
Oh.
In Texas, he's up by 10%, but he's more than that over Biden. Florida, he's up by 10%. Louisiana, he's up by 15%. Maryland, Biden 17%. Utah, Trump is 25%. New Jersey, holy shit, New Jersey, Trump has gained 5. He's still down 5 points, but he has gained 5 points in New Jersey. Ohio, Trump is
we're
up
going to
by
go up
10
by 5.
He's up by 10 there. Montana, he's up by 21 points.
Wow.
Biden gained, when you add in all the extras, Biden's at 52% in California and Trump is at 30. But that's because you got all the other guys added in there. South Carolina, Trump is up by 17. Washington State, Biden is up by 12. Missouri, Trump is up by 49. And Alaska, Trump is up by 8. I would say Trump, even by this, Trump has won this election.
Yeah.
We've
been saying that a lot, though.
It's today's state, Biden, Trump, Kennedy, West Stein, and whoever other is. Now I can take that out of there and look and see what it gives us.
What's the average percent that Kennedy's bringing in on these things? 12, 15?
Let me plug it back in. I just turned it off. Hold on. So Kennedy's in purple. So nationally, he's getting 11%. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks
it's not going anywhere, but it's not bad. It's taking away from Biden.
But even when you take it out, so wait, let me go back. Hold on, put it back in. So right now with him in, Trump's up by 2% nationally. So let's take him out. Trump is up by 2% nationally.
Either way, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
It has little to zero effect. I find that very difficult to believe.
And in New York, Trump moved up to 40% with them everybody out. Virginia still a tie. There's still a tie. So with everybody out. Michigan, he is kicking his ass. Washington, Trump moved up by 2 points. Arizona, it's pretty much stayed the same. Mass, it pretty much stayed the same. Nevada, Trump's 6 points ahead in Nevada. There is no swing states that Biden's ahead in, none. And
Not
so
one.
far, he's done less than 5 points. New Hampshire, Trump, he's only down by 2 points in New Hampshire. Holy
That's
moly.
bad.
Holy moly. Oh, and when you take them out, he's still 3 points up in Pennsylvania, which is the lowest swing state, by the way.
Yeah.
North Carolina, Rhode Island, South Dakota. Georgia, he's up by 6 points still. Wisconsin, Wisconsin, he loses a point. He's down by a point in Wisconsin, where he was up by a point with Kennedy in there. So, that's interesting. I don't believe that, but still. Tennessee, Texas, Florida, all the same. Minnesota, pretty much the same. There's only 1 point difference between him and Biden in there. Louisiana's the same. Brown's the same. Utah's a little more. California, he moved up 5 points. So Kennedy is taking people away from Trump. Biden moved up 2 points there. Colorado, it's 40 to 49, so it's 9 points difference. New Jersey, you traitor bastards. Come on. 7% for Biden. What are y'all up to? Sucking weenies or something? Jesus. Ohio, he's murderizing him. Alaska, he's murderizing him. Indiana, he's murderizing him. Montana, Iowa, he's murderizing him. Maine, oh shit, he's beating him in Maine.
Who?
Isn't Maine typically a blue state?
So you've got, Maine's got 3 districts. So in Maine 2, Trump is up by 8 points. In Maine 1, Trump is down by 8 points. And in Maine 2, Trump is up by 20 points. So I guess there's 3 different ways. So Trump's won Maine. So let's just not even go there. South Carolina, he's killing him. Missouri's killing Wyoming. Jesus. He's up 53% in Wyoming, man. Go Wyoming. Go Cowboys! Even though it's one of the most boring states I've ever been in my whole life. Trump in Nebraska, West Virginia, he's up by 36%. Mother. Some of you West Virginians need to move to Virginia. Kansas, he's up by 16. Idaho, he's up by 30. Oklahoma, he's up by 30. Kentucky, he's up by 30. And New Mexico, he's down by 7. Trump's won this. I'm like with the other Sean, we can't, count our hatch and eggies until it's over with. But that's without anybody in it. Within it, it's a little different. But he's. I don't know what to say, people. I thought it would have been a little bit different than this, to be honest with you. But 270 is a neutral poll. They don't want to give a shit who wins. They're just counting the electoral votes. And right now, Trump has 318 in electoral.
Wow.
Yeah. A friend the other day was arguing with me about why don't we use the the popular vote? Because we'd never have another red president again. We'd only have presidents. The blues would determine the president every time, because the population of New York and California. That's going to change because Texas and Florida. Well, Florida's already passed up New York. Then eventually it'll be California. Texas will be bigger than California and have more electoral votes. And Florida's fixing to get even more electoral votes as it starts to catch up with California itself. It'll be 30 million next year. So it's on its way too. But right now, the way it's set up, there would not have been a red president for the last 50 or 80 years. And that's like skipping the entire middle of the country. And that's how Hillary lost. She just skipped the middle of the country.
Well, it's funny you say that. I was looking at a map I just put in Google search, what are traditionally red and blue states, and a Wikipedia page came up, but the map it shows is a summary of statewide results for the 2008, 12, and 16 and 20 presidential elections by state. And on through 1, 2, 3, so through those 4 different years that they did this, the bulk of the middle of the country is red. There's a few pink states, 1 purple, and the rest is blue. 3 purple.
It's oh wait, here we go. This is Forbes. Biden versus Trump 2024 election. Biden leads Trump by 2 points. Okay, I don't know where they got that from, because every other poll we said he was losing by 2 points, but loses with JFK Jr. on ballot. Latest survey shows. So Forbes is trying to help their man out, but even they have to admit he's going to probably lose. And I don't know where they got this particular survey at. Let's see if they can tell us. Okay. So Democrats, you should be scared you should be crapping in your drawers now. What do they call them in England? Knickers. You should be crapping your knickers.
I bet some of them are wearing those adult diaper thingies too.
So Biden would beat Trump 50-48 in a 2-way matchup, according to, y'all ready for this? NPR and PBS.
Wow, when did they turn the corner?
So think about this. This is NPR. I mean, NPR is so blue, I can't even listen to them on my radio anymore. It makes me gag. So he's only 2 points ahead in the biggest radio network in the country for Democrats. 2 points. He should be 10, 12 points ahead there. So he's almost lost with NPR and PBS. And if you add in Kennedy, he does. And that's what is their own people. Think about this. These are Democrats we're talking about. These are not everyday Americans. I love when they try to act like it's not. But Forbes, we know as well as you do that they ain't nobody red listening to NPR. Because if they are, it's making them sick. Anybody who's ever listened to NPR for any length of time goes, oh my God, do they do nothing? I mean, first off, I have never heard in all Trump's existence NPR ever say anything good about it. Every chance they get, they bring somebody proven. Huh?
What stations are NPR?
Well, NPR is National Public Radio, the whole entire country. Any public radio network like in your state, Pennsylvania, which is probably PBS or something like that, some public radio for Pennsylvania, that belongs to them. Just down like here, it's Mississippi Public Radio, that belongs to NPR. And when you listen to it, even though Mississippi's a red state, it's all blue. Ain't nothing on there but hate, and more hate. It's not even always hate about Trump, but it's all hate. It's all anti-America, basically.
Would you guys like to hear what the Vegas Insider is saying about the odds for the election?
I'm always listening to my Vegas people.
All right, so listen to this. Former U.S. President Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts, as we know. The sentencing is set for July 11th, just days before the Republican National Convention, which I didn't know. We knew that. We didn't say that it's going to happen between July 15th and 18th. So he may actually, if he doesn't get the appeals going, he may be in jail for the convention. Yuck. Despite him losing, though, Vegas is saying the odds have tilted more in his favor to capture the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Now, listen to this. These are the betting odds. Trump was an even money favorite at 1-to-1 odds previously. So he's betting $100, you win $100. And he's now sitting at 5-to-6 odds, where if you bet $100, you win $83.33. So you lose money. Yep. Joe Biden, however, has been hovering at 11-to-10 odds, which means you bet 100, you win 110, and 5-to-4 odds, which means you bet 100 and win 125. Currently, the latter of which of those two odds makes him the slight underdog still in the race if you were to bet on them for money. So either way, Vegas is saying Trump is a winner.
Oh yeah. So wait, here we go. Latest survey is the latest shows. Now remember, this is a Democratic survey, and they're going to fess up to this in a minute. The survey is the latest to show Biden's losing support amongst key demographics in the Democratic Party. So here we go. Young voters under 45 prefer Biden over Trump by only 4 points. And that means a lot of Democrat youngins are going to vote for Trump.
I think that
4 points. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is important. Yeah. So this is important to remember. This is not any of Trump's supporters we're talking about. The people, the independents and the others we know are going to vote for Trump. This is young people under 45 in the Democratic Party.
Wow.
So 45% prefer Biden, 41% prefer Trump. That means 41% of the Democrats' youth is going to vote for Trump. This is a fucking landslide is what this is. This is
work out more to watch, though. I mean, if it's basically 40 and 40%, it's...
And Trump just 4 points, and Biden.
They basically cancel each other out.
Well, let me ask you this question, guys. Could Trump win the presidency even before California chimes in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he won it long before then.
I think the facts are showing that he already has won the election. I think that's what the polls are saying, even though they since how many months have we been reading these polls, they haven't really changed much. They're always within 3, 4, 5 points of each other. And it's like, how does someone who's so unpopular in the media as Biden be so...
And here's another one for you.
In the polls? It doesn't make any kind of sense.
Biden leads amongst the Z's and the millennials by 6 points, which I don't really believe that, but he was leading by 16 points. And he's leading by 6. That means that 10% that fell, plus the other ones, are going to vote for who? Trump. See, I love the way they try to word these to make you think that this is helping him, but the article itself tells you this is actually a hurt for him. And let's see, Z and millennials and 8 amongst voters under 45 with a third of the party candidates in a mix vote for Trump. Their own poll saying that he's leaving. In April, New York Times poll, I love these Times, and Philadelphia Inquirer polls. This shit is just too funny. Has also found that Biden is tied with Trump amongst Hispanics. Oh my God. So that means 50% of Hispanics are voting for Trump. You see, they don't want to word it like that, but that's what it means. So usually about 30% votes for him. So I don't even know what to think about this.
How about this? I didn't find anything just yet I just searched, but how about a poll or a percentage even? How many voters actually don't decide until they're inside the booth, curtain closed, and
Not
that's when
many.
the decision is made?
Not
Most
not
people have that
polarized
decision
election
before
like
they go
this.
in, but how many people truly don't make that decision
There's,
until
there's,
the
there's,
booth is
some.
closed?
There's some. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, but how many is the percentage? That's a number I think we should
I
all
would think
know.
it's less, I would think it'd be less than 3%, but
Yeah.
it's arguable. So let's see. They Inquirer poll found Biden tied with Trump amongst Hispanics voters, and in the battleground states, in the 6 battleground states, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, and Wisconsin, and Nevada, trailing him by 4 points and 18. And then who's trailing who by 4 points? Are they trying to say Biden? Is Trump trailing Biden? We already went through all the battleground states just now in the 270 and 538, and he clearly shows Trump way ahead. Points among 18 to 29-year-olds, 2 groups who voted for Biden by more than 60%, according to Times, are well before 40% now. Biden also appears to be losing support in demographic strongholds such as New York, where he's down by 10 points, where he's only up by 8 points. That's even worse. A while ago, and that's according to the New York Times. That means he's got better numbers than that. Trump, according to that, let's see, in 7 crucial swing states, will likely decide the election: Arizona, Michigan, Nevada, Georgia, and North Carolina, Pennsylvania, which are all currently right now in Biden, all of which Biden won narrowly in 2020, with the exception of North Carolina. Polls consistently show Trump leads Biden in all of them.
Huh?
So even Forbes, who's been trying to tell you for this first part of this article how Trump's getting sucked up, now has to actually fess up. And this is way down in the article that Biden's actually losing.
Wow. Wow. One day you're gonna have to show me and teach me how to read those polls.
Yeah, well, and then it says May Cook political report survey found Trump up by 3 points in 7 states, and Bloomberg Morning Consultant polls Trump leads Biden by 4 in all states, in all battleground states.
But doesn't Bloomberg hate Trump?
He does, and he's telling you that Trump's winning. The New York Times and the Philadelphia Inquirer are also telling you that Trump is winning. Morning Consultant is also telling you, even though we read a little while ago where they were trying to say Biden was up, is also telling you. See, what they're basically saying here is Biden has lost like 50% of the voters under the age of 45.
Wow.
He just lost them. These are people that helped him to narrowly win last time, which are basically putting their foot in his ass this time. As far as the trial goes, we really don't think it's going to affect this election, other than it may help Trump in some areas, especially in the Deep South. He may see a larger vote, making the popular vote more competitive this year. And let's see, new government survey that found Trump beating Biden by just 1 point in a 5-way race. Fox News polls found Trump leading by 1 point in a head-to-head up match. Reuters has him up by 1 point. Everybody has him up. Reuters IOSP polls shows the Israel-Hamas war dividing Biden's base. Man, it's hurting him.
What?
44% of all Democrats do not like the way he's handling the war.
Wow.
Wow. That must mean 44% of Democrats are Jewish.
Wow.
They disapprove of his handling of the conflicts. Among those voters, 77% said they may or may not vote for Joe Biden, compared to what 93% approved of the war just a few months ago. He's already lost 30% of those voters.
Wow.
Man, Democrats look like they're either flocking to Kennedy or Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. When your president goes out there, y'all can't see me, but he's shaking air. You know, I'm watching.
Yeah.
First he tried to walk off the right of the stage. Then he looked at the back of the
He
stage.
didn't just shake air. He also broke air on camera, and audio. So
Oh
I mean,
no,
But you know
who
what?
did that? Like broke wind?
yes, like full on pooted, and then he saluted right afterwards. Like,
No, how
Yeah,
classy.
How
one
about
of the
that
things.
jag? How about the jag off falling asleep at Arlington Cemetery?
Oh man, see, that's not the first time he's done that.
yeah,
He
yep,
did last Memorial Day too. He just fell asleep.
Wow.
I'm thinking that is so disrespectful. As a vet, I feel like I should go put my foot up his ass.
Who is this we're speaking of? Is this Biden or Trump?
Biden.
God, Biden. Trump's big time in American and Vietnam.
And why is he falling asleep in the middle of the day? I mean, he goes to bed at like what, 6, 7 o'clock at night?
Dude, I
Some-
really think they got him meted up. Like, I think they got him on some type of prescription drugs that are like
They
keeping him
both.
sedated.
Both he and Camilla sound drugged up. I agree.
Camilla sounds drunk.
Pacified.
But that's also
She sounds
still
like
drugged
she's
up.
drinking is what she sounds like.
Whether it's
She's like having too many cocktails on the airplane. Oh, I
Still
got. I
drugged
don't
up,
remember
right.
my speech. I'll just drink this and I'll be like, I'm Kamala Harris, and I'm here to talk about abortion. What is abortion again? Oh, that's okay. And I'm here to talk about abortion and why people shouldn't kill. Oh, we were supposed to kill our babies. Oh, I'm sorry. Why we should kill our babies? And that's Kamala Harris. I mean, really, that's who she is. And I've listened to her speak so many times drunk that I wanted to say something to her. I'm like, shit, sober up, eat something on the airplane.
Well, she does. She eats a whole bunch of Thin Mints just before she gets off, so her breath doesn't smell like alcohol.
According to According to CNN, the 2024 numbers compared to the 2020 numbers suggest a landslide for Trump.
Wow. Is that CNN?
That's CNN.
Wow. Is there a poll out there on who's going to be his vice president?
Yeah.
Well, now that he's a convicted felon.
Just
Oh
about
wait, what
nobody.
is this? If Trump is found guilty, more likely, less likely, no difference in your voting. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is NPR, by the way. 67% said it makes no difference.
Wow.
17% says less likely. 15% said more likely to vote. So what is that? 67, 87, 90. No, wait, I'm sorry. 77, 83% are going to vote for Trump. I mean, come on, this is NPR. This is liberal. I'm telling you, if I was still a Democrat and I was reading these polls, I'd be crying somewhere.
I'd be changing my Depends underwear every 37
I
seconds.
might be changing parties, actually. I'd probably be like, well, it's been nice, you loser bastards.
That was
It's really
funny,
time to
Joe.
get out of here.
It's our boy Joe Fox. Her breath stinks
That
of
was
man
funny.
juice.
Yeah. Kiyusa.
And let's not forget how she made it in the world. And I know she ended up being the Attorney General for California, but the way she met her husband was she was a professional call girl. That's how we'll say it.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, a professional call girl.
And people are giving Trump crap about being with a professional porn star.
The only thing I don't like about all this is this: the only person that really got hurt in this was Melania. That's it. She's the
You got
one.
a crush on her, that's why.
She's the one that really got hurt in all of this. Everybody else, Trump was anyway, and Biden is too, and Stormy's just the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen in my entire life.
She is so
Yeah, she's
freaking
kind of
ugly,
trashy.
dude.
Yeah, she's
She
not.
is ugly.
She's not attractive, particularly
Not at
naked.
all.
She's not attractive.
Yeah, Trump was horny one day and he let his dick get him in trouble. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, you know what? I would.
Yes.
You know what? Oh my God, no. I wouldn't even let Jay there do her, man.
Thank you, sir.
No.
Oh, wait, and I forgot to tell y'all. Elon Musk came out on Trump's side like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
He was on a rage. He said, "This is a dark day in American history. I could not believe we're going to start allowing the justice system to try to sway our elections." I mean, he came out. He just offered Trump a job as what do you call him? Not an accountant. Oh, when you give advice, an advisor for $2 million a year, which is 4 times what we would make as president. Not as much power, mind you, but
Well, look at all the Democrat, the companies or the really rich millionaires are donating money to Trump's campaign and leaving Biden's.
they are. Well,
And the one guy said,
Elon. He's got Elon in the corner. Elon could fund the whole damn thing if he wanted to. And then there's been
Hello?
rumors. Oh, hello.
Hello, we hear you.
Yes, we hear you.
Now we don't.
There have been rumors that there has been discussion of Elon's role in the White House this term.
What?
Yes. Now, Elon was asked about this the other day, and he swears no. This is the Washington Post articles, by the way, and he swears that that was not true. That he didn't worry about it. Let's see. American voters evenly divided over whether they are more likely to vote for a Republican Democrat candidate. Yeah, that's NPR says that.
I think the maps we showed, particularly the maps we saw in 2022 for the senatorial race, are the same as the ones I talked about for the presidential race. The middle of the country is mostly red. I mean, it's more than half of the states, so that's more than plenty for Trump to win if he gets into it.
They are. See what Real Clear Politics has. I haven't seen them yet today. What's that, Jackie? No, yeah, that's my pad. So I can read y'all on my pad. Unless something majorly changes, Trump's the next president. He might be the president from jail, but he's the next president.
Unless his appeals are denied and he gets put into prison before the election, he may not actually be able. I don't know what the rule is. If he's in prison, if he wins, how does that work?
He'll still be president.
He'll still be president.
you know how they said
he's going to invite Putin over to the jail. Say, hey, Putin, why don't you come hang out?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Check out Friday Pizza Night.
But you know what? Check this out. So I just lost my train of thought. That sucked. That sucked.
Happens to me all the time, Sean. Don't feel bad.
So let's look at Real Clear Politics. Now, a lot of these are going to be blue. Okay, so first one you see is Forbes Harris. Trump's up by 2. Wow. So the overall consensus on this polling is Trump's up by 1.8%. But anyway, let's go on. So next one is Reuters. Now, Biden is up by 2 on Reuters. We already knew that was going to be because Reuters, sucks blue dick. Damn, I said that again. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to say that. Close your ears.
Yes, raunchy.
Well, I just said close your ears. I know, I just said close your ears. Morning Consultant, which is Big Blueby. Trump is up by 2. Emerson, another Big Blueby. Trump is up by 2. NPR, NPS, Biden's up by 2. Quinnipiac, Biden's up by 1. Harvard. Y'all know Harvard is so blue, it's not funny. Trump is up by 6. Now, Fox News is only up by 1, so I don't know what's going on with Fox. Yahoo News and the Marquee are both got them tied. So that's overall. So we got 1, 2, 3, 5 points for Blueby and 7, 9, 11, 13, 14 points for the Red Sox.
Wow.
Real Clear Politics thinks he's winning. I don't know. What's that, Marky? No, I don't know. I mean, if you go by the numbers, it's a freaking landslide.
Let's put in a poll to find out where Leah should move.
Okay, I gotta put one of the APC polls up. Oh wait, we got to go to NPR and see on the NPR site and see what they say. I can't wait to read this. What do you mean, Chris? I do like reading the blue polls because when you read the blue polls, so in a blue poll, like an NPR poll, you should see Biden up by like 22 points.
Yes.
Who's going to win this election? That's what you see. Now you see him up by 1 or 2. Let's see. Fear factor, real America, but Democrats and Republicans are scared for their country's future. Let's see. Yeah, like we care about all that. See, that's the media trying to whip up fear.
Yeah.
One of the favorite things. Let's see. Fascist and extremism versus lack of a value is becoming weak. So I guess the Reds are fascist and extreme, and the Democrats have no values and are weak. So one of the things they say are actually hurting Democrats, especially in blue states, was guess what? Letting transvestites read to your children.
Wow.
Well, it's nice to see. It's nice to see them fess up because it never happened in the South. They were like, "Well, you want to do what? No. Their mamas would have come out packing their little pink guns and shot somebody's ass." This would have never happened down here. It's certain things that happen up north never happen in the South. It's one of the reasons I stay living down here. I cause, when I was young, I always thought about moving up to like Seattle or New York because there's more opportunities in places like that, but they have no values or morals whatsoever.
No, they don't.
I'm used to living in places with morals. Let's see. What is this? Concerns of American adults have about their country's future. Okay. Republicans fear fascism by 15%. Democrats by 47%. Independents by 32%. Lack of values. Republicans 36%. Independents 24%. Democrats only 14% of them think there's a lack of values in our country. Really? That's because you live in a blue city that has no values. That's why you don't think that. Becoming weak as a nation. Between the independents and the Republicans, 66%. Democrats only 11% worry about becoming a weak nation.
Huh.
Yeah, because you're making us weak. That's what you want. If it was up to you, Democrats, you'd have gave the country back to China.
Yeah.
Freaking morons. I mean, come on. Ignoring the country's flaws and past mistakes. Overall, 8%. That's weird. What's that, bro?
What time is this show over?
It is over in 18 minutes, actually. We usually run over a little bit, but
Tonight's a
we
1 o'clocker.
It might be, so it's let's see. We got a couple more polls and then we'll see what else. That's real politics. Oh, here's one about Leah.
Uh-oh.
It says real politics, Leah and gonna be governor. Oh shit. I'm glad I don't live up there.
Of what? Governor of...
Illinois.
Yeah, right.
Nobody in
Illinois likes me.
Well, I'm just saying, it'd be even worse once you became governor. Oh my God! But Democrats like to vote for
Rock
people.
Island, Illinois, nobody wants me here. Not the police want me gone, dude. Everybody despises me.
It's never good when the police want you gone. Let's see.
Dude,
Forbes.
I'm certain of it.
So general election, Trump versus Biden. Forbes has Trump up by 2 points.
Huh.
Damn, Forbes.
Yeah, it seems like he's up by 2 everywhere on today's
I gave the
polls,
police
but
a run for their money. That's why I actually had to put them to work.
With,
They had to do their job.
Make them work. Let's see. General poll with Kennedy involved and CNN and West. Trump is up by 5 points over Biden. Here is here's one. General Biden. Biden's up by 2 on this poll. That's a Reuters poll again. Reuters, you're supposed to be the people who just put the news out. You're not supposed to be the people telling people what the news should be. So it just tells me you put out a bunch of blue garbage, and that's why you've been failing lately. NPR, Trump, Biden up by 2.
what?
Oh shit! Yeah, that's NPR. But wait,
Yeah.
NPR with Kennedy involved, Trump up by 4.
Yeah.
So that's how NPR levels it out, because NPR knows they're lying when they say that Biden's over Trump. So that's what they tell you. Oh, with Kennedy involved, it's so much better.
With Kennedy involved, how many down was Biden? -2?
No, and with Kennedy involved, yeah, Biden was down by 4 points under Trump. Kennedy had 8 points before they won that election. So this is the New York Times, Trump versus Biden. New York Times, Biden 48, Trump 43. That's
Wow.
5 points. 5 points. There's a red guy within 5 points of a Democratic president in New York City, man. Oh my God, the world's coming to a fucking end. Excuse my
You
language.
know what? I'm telling you what, Joe. I think Trump is going to win New York.
Yeah.
He's going to pull some out of there. That's for sure. So here are two more New York polls. Trump down by 6 and Biden up by 6. Biden up by 7. Oh man! Now here's Trump. This is Roanoke College. They are tied, which is another blue one. Biden, Roanoke College with Kennedy. Biden pulls 2 points. General election, Trump versus them. Morning call, Trump is up by 5. Economist.gov, Trump is up by 3. Michigan, oh, we don't need all of those. Those are just states. Yeah, we don't care about all those. So when you get on the state thing, it's so funny. So right now, I haven't seen a blue one yet. It's red, 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 red tie, red, 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 red. Oh, here's a blue one. What state is that? Oh, that's not even a state. That's PBS. Sorry. So maybe I should go back.
You know, it's funny with PBS. They're always asking people for money.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's blue people
They
for
sure
you.
are.
So
Well,
currently, right now, out of all the states, he's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's only winning in 12 states. Now I'm
He's
sure
already
I mean, Biden's only winning in 12 states. He should be winning at least 19 states. I mean, Republicans always have more governors. I mean, they're usually 30 or 34 Republican governors. So even though the Democrats have gotten closer lately, but this is just sad. The more I read, the more I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry, that's wrong on my part.
well, you guys, I think I'm gonna head out a few minutes early.
Go on,
Okay.
get out of here. We know you
Well,
need
it's
that
nice
beauty
having
sleep.
you on again. It's nice seeing
Yeah,
you.
it was nice chit chatting.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Harass the guys anytime you want to. They need to be harassed.
Yeah, so do I guess.
No, they do. They need to be harassed. They're old and they need to be, beat up on and stuff.
Hey, I am the oldest one on here.
Write him, and tell him, things like, maybe if you were 20 years younger or shit like that, just to harass him. Really.
I should be
Yeah.
free this Wednesday if any of you are gonna be on the show on
We
Wednesday.
are. We're gonna be on Wednesday. Oh wait, whoa, wait! Is this Biden share votes in key groups? Okay, let's read this.
What? How does he
This is
share
key
votes in
groups.
key groups?
So women, it's in 2020, he had 57% of the women vote for him. In 2024, he has 52. Voters 18 to 29. Remember, Reuters tried to tell us earlier that those Democrats were going to vote for. We're going to vote for Democrats. We'll know. In 2020, they had 60%, and now they have 58%. Hispanic voters, they had 65, now they have 53. And black voters, they had 87, now they have 76. Well, all these numbers are actually lower than this because we know Trump's got higher numbers. We know that in the black vote, he's pulling 40%, which means Biden can only be pulling 60. We know amongst Hispanics, he's pulling 50%, which means Biden can only be pulling 50%. We know actually among voters 29 and under, he's actually winning. So that's crap there. And amongst women, it's 50-50.
Wow.
So but again, like I said, this is CBS News poll, U.S. government poll. This is definitely a blue poll. It's even written in blue colors and stuff. Well, I like people when they're listening to us to know because the majority polls you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be blue polls. And when you're seeing red and blue polls, uh-oh. And there's things like Vox and AP, and there's a bunch of these companies that are just owned by different. Vox is so blue that I don't even know if they know there's another color in the world.
Yeah.
I get more junk mail from them. I actually have tore them up several times. I'm like, I said, what do you have, like 4-year-olds writing for you? Because they go, this is true. I said, no, it's not. And I said, if I see you publish something like this again, I'm going to sue you. He's like, what? And I said, look, I'll tell you what. And I've told a lot of these companies and a lot of these authors and stuff, I said, you know what? I have a big radio network that has a lot of hosts on it that like to argue. I said, if you really think you're good and your numbers are correct, you can come argue with. I said, stop by. We'll bring you the news and the flip side. And we'll discuss your polls.
Yeah.
with the group. And he's like, wait, what do you mean discuss them? I said, well, let's discuss how they came about, where your demographics are, how many people took the poll. And Fox likes to try to find like Fox polls or other polls that shows weaknesses, and that's the ones they put up. They don't never like to put up their own polls because, of course, Biden's winning. Biden's losing. Biden is losing ground with Americans' most distressful demographic groups. Most distressful demographic groups. What the hell is that? Okay, am I reading that wrong? Biden is losing ground with Americans' most distressful demographic groups. Okay, what the hell is most distressful demographic groups? I'm missing something here.
What does that mean?
Some Americans generally trust their nation's institutions and people. Because Americans don't trust y'all anymore. Oh, well, that's true. So they, when asked, most Americans do not trust Reuters anymore. NPR, only 8% of the people who listen to them trust them. 8%. I mean, but yet they do well. But that means even Democrats don't trust them.
They do. I mean, they're particularly their news shows do really well in the ratings. But I mean, we're a news show. Do you care about ratings, or do you want to care about delivering the correct?
Well, you care about if you're in cable news, like Sean Hannity or somebody, because he's number one.
Oh yeah.
Hillary Clinton says this election will be fixed for Trump.
Yeah. Like it wasn't fixed for what's his face.
2019, nobody trusts us. Meanwhile, 44% of black voters and 46% of Hispanic voters have low levels of trust in the surveys, with only 31% of white people even thinking that our country can be trusted anymore.
Now, is it open season on Obama, Clinton?
Yeah, because they keep sticking their nose where it shouldn't belong. Under
I'm just
Obama,
saying,
this actually says under Obama that black people felt like they could trust their government more. That was dumb for y'all to think that, by the way, black people, because Obama was one of the biggest hoot dogs there ever was, who had no idea what he was doing. So when asked in colleges, in 5 of the major liberal colleges, do you trust Mark Cohen's testimony? 91% said no. Jesus Christ. It just said it seems like that Trump's message is ringing true and Biden's message is ringing on deaf ears. And that's a box of all. I mean, it's bad when the Democrat institutions are all but saying, you lost, dude. Oh, wait, MSNBC, I haven't seen one of their polls in a while. Ooh. And then there's a Pittsburgh poll, and then we'll call it a night. What time is it? I don't see what time it is. Oh, yeah, it's time. Let's see, we'll wait for this. MSNBC, how not to have a psychic meltdown when you see new Trump Biden poll numbers. Oh, wait. Okay, wait a minute. How not to have a psychic meltdown when you see the new Trump Biden poll numbers. So, wait a minute now. So, what is NBC saying here? Are the red people going to have a meltdown, or the blue people going to have a meltdown? I don't think it's going to be the red people, so let's see if we can find out. In the Wall Street Journal, the latest poll 2024 election, President Biden, former President Donald Trump locked at 46% each. Other recent polls show extensively the same thing, while there will be many twists and turns before the next November election. To point the race is a toss. That's MSNBC saying it.
Have you seen some of their shows where they start talking about the polls and they actually freak out on their shows because Trump's up on some of them polls?
Yeah, because Trump's up on a lot of those polls. Well, this is an MSNBC poll, which we know there's no self-respecting anybody except for some crazy liberals watch MSNBC, and I mean crazy liberals. And they say they're tied, which means that Trump's probably up by about 8 points.
Well, I think the overall general takeaway of the evening is, and I think Joe Fox said it the best, 3 more years of Biden will be the gateway for me to take massive amounts of crack cocaine. Still don't recommend it. It's a horrible drug. Pick another one. But I agree. I mean, if we get another 3 years of Biden, even though the polls say he shouldn't win, what do you think is going to happen then? Do you think there's going to be
The Civil War? Yes, there will be.
There'll be a
think
civil
it'll be
war,
right
but
if
I
he
war
wins?
with somebody else.
There will
I'm
be a
more
Civil
worried
War.
he's going to start a real war because the other day he told the Ukraine that they could start using some of our weapons to
Yes.
fire across the lines in Russia. What the f- is that?
Is he
This is
trying to
not
get
our
us into
war.
war? What the,
Yeah, he's trying to get us in war because this isn't our war. It's matter of fact, America should just say we want a popular vote and shut this down and say no more of this. And as far as you people hating on the Israelis for I was going to say Benghazi. Jesus, my brain is fried. Too much news over the years. For the Palestinians, shame on you. Shame on anybody taking Gaza's side. Or did you forget what happened? First off, you stupid effing morons, they are holding Americans as hostages. And you're like, oh, well, we shouldn't do it. No bullshit. They want us to leave them alone. Give us our people back. Step forward and apologizing for shooting kids and then stepping on their heads and crushing them and then setting them on fire. Apologize for walking into a concert and shooting up a bunch of 13, 14, and 15-year-olds. No, there is nothing, guys, until this is taken care of. What is wrong with you sick people? I mean, really, you are some sick XOBs if you think what happened in Israel was okay. And if you think this is too big of a response, you're a big idiot. Because frankly, if I was president, I'd have walked in and said, "You got 48 hours to give me my people. I'm wiping your right out."
quite honestly, unless you're an
Go for
Israeli
it.
citizen living here in the country, you don't have a dog in the fight. Your opinion doesn't matter 100%.
If they wouldn't have took our hostages, we'd have probably stayed out of this because it isn't our fight. But you took our people. You made it our fight. I
And
never
we-
understood why would
and
you
we
take
haven't- we
Americans?
haven't
No,
even
and
started
sooner or
fighting.
later-
We don't have any boots on the ground over there.
Actually, we do. In
Oh, we
Israel,
do?
Yeah, we do. We had a couple of special forces groups. We're not using them for anything, but we do have them there.
Yeah, what are they doing? They're sitting watching movies? What are they doing?
They're waiting for our coward of a president to say, "Go get our people."
Yeah, they're going to have to wait for Trump.
And see, Hamas knows Trump is going to wipe him out, just
If
like
he-
Obama did. Just like
I will predict this. I'll go on the record right now. If Trump does win, and especially if he gets this conviction thing taken care of, even if he doesn't and he wins, I guarantee you within days Hamas will back down. They'll disappear because they'll know he's coming after.
We're just going to go over there and kill him. We're going to be like, "Excuse us. You're going to give us our people back, or you're not going to exist anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the Pittsburgh Post Gazette?
Ooh.
Let's see what they say about Trump. They took a poll of 4,500 people across 4 or 5 counties. I guess the big ones. And currently, Trump is leading by. They got him leading by 5 points.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So, well, they're just gonna have to wait and see. We'll start posting some of our old polls pretty soon. APC, where are we now? We're in June, so July, August, September, October. So we're 5 months out. Yeah, so we'll probably start putting up some of the APC polls later this month.
Well,
Why don't, hey, Joe, why don't you put a poll out there?
I do. I own the APC. I own American Polling Company.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
So we only ever use them during election years, and we'll start. Well, as soon as I get the internet back, probably this weekend, we'll start putting the APC polls up. We'll put them on a website, and you can go take them and decide what you think, people. There'll be 3 polls up there. We'll probably put a poll up. What do you think is the most important thing in the economy you're going to vote for? Who you're going to vote for? And then we might even put up a list of people we think might make good vice presidents, and who would you like to see? I'm going for Tulsi Gabbard, even that's not going to be who it is. How about Elon fucking Musk as VP?
Oh. Well, I don't know, man. He's too passive, dude. He might, flex his
He's a
muscle.
crazy bastard. Have you heard him lately? He's lost his. So Linda keeps an eye on him for me. He's lost his mind. He has truly lost his mind lately. You know who he reminds me of? He is like the real life version of Tony Stark. That's who he reminds me of. In the middle of SpaceX, there is a full size Iron Man suit there in the middle of the plant where everybody can see it. You know, come on, the man blasted his fucking car into space. He's crazy. Uh, he sleeps from home to home with his friends. He's got what 10 kids. I don't know, man. And he's got a vivid thing on politics. That's why he bought X or Twitter. He exposed to the world, and that's something else Trump said he was going after when he got out. The people at Twitter and the people at Facebook for helping to cheat in those elections. And he also wants an investigation into the FBI. Trump's already said all this. You know, this Trump, some of the reason he's got the problems he's having right now is because some of the stuff he said last year that he wanted to do, which sounds a little bit revengeful. But you know what? The FBI has tried to hurt him in many, many ways. The FBI is not the organization we all fell in love with. Okay, let me rephrase that. Majority of people at the FBI are still the people I fell in love with. There are just some at the top that are liberal and are using the FBI for political fun.
Well, what about this? What if the FBI or some other alphabet soup organization lets Elon get to Mars, and then once he's there, they know he's there, they blow up his ships here on Earth and eventually stop the caravan?
Well, the problem they're going to have is Elon's not stupid, and Elon will be building ships on Mars. And I wouldn't put it past Elon to build some very super secretive weapon system on Mars. So if I was the U.S. government, since he seems to be smarter than most of them, I'd be careful pissing him off. Right now, if he really wanted to, he's got what 8,000 of those satellites in space. He could take out the entire satellite network right now, including GPS.
Mm-hmm.
If he really wanted to, he could just ram them right into him and take them out. That's why he told Putin, I got more satellites than you got missiles, and I can build rockets faster than you can build missiles. And he can launch several at one time. So, you know, messing with him is stupid. He has a level of control that no billionaires ever had before. He has his own weapon system.
He has his own space system.
Yeah. And he is building rockets that can land themselves. He is building spaceships to go to Mars. He is making America solely by himself great again. The Russians and Chinese are so jealous of him, they don't even know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chinese were talking about, how close they are to landing a ship because they bought out one of Elon's people. And then all of a sudden, something mysteriously, the plant blew up. Don't ask me. I don't know. Now, I did hear Xi Jinping the other day talking about, you're not going to tell us what to do with Taiwan. And Joe Biden said, well, we're going to put more tariffs on you then.
He did say that.
Yeah. So won't that make them take it over anyway? If he's going to tack on more tariffs, they're going to take it over.
Well, no, he's already put the tariffs on them. The problem with Taiwan is the same thing. The U.S. gave Taiwan our undying support. We'll go to war over Taiwan. It's not just us either.
Will Biden go to war over Taiwan?
I don't think he has a choice in this because they're a protectorate. I don't think he has a choice when it comes to a protectorate. It would be like invading Japan. We have no choice. We have to protect them.
Yeah.
Or England or anybody like that. They're a protectorate. Once you become a United States protectorate, that's what you are. And we will go to war.
England isn't a protectorate, but they are at least an ally. And we probably have a contract with them and same for them. If we get attacked, they would have to assist us. So I think it's a two-way road there.
Well, we still consider the Brits a protectorate. It's funny what we do with the Brits, and just like Canada, we don't really consider it's hard to explain, but when we look at the Brits, we feel like they're more Americans, like the Australians, than they are part of Europe. We feel like they're more the Western world, just like we feel like Australia and Canada, even though Australia's at the bottom of the world down there, we do consider them to be part of the United States. Yeah. We don't really look at them as an outside thing, even though some of them might. We don't. You could not right now. That's one of the reasons England left Europe, because our money, military, and just general lives are so tied together. I don't know if you can actually pull them apart. I don't know if there's a way to do it without destroying both countries. I just don't know if there is.
The similarities are so close. If you took an Englishman, a Scottishman, an Irishman, a Canadian, and one of every type of different verbal dialect of American you can find, and the various dialects and accents you find in Australia, and put all these people in a lineup without them speaking. You can't tell who's from where. You can't say this guy's from England, that guy's from Australia, this guy's from America.
You got to ask them to smile.
Will they talk? You won't be able to identify what region they're from.
Well,
yeah, you could. If they all smiled, you'll see who's missing teeth.
You know, there were a couple of presidents, and still even today, who thinks we should annex Canada. We should just make it part of the country, against their will or not. We should annex them, meaning that we already control their military and engulf the area. We fly over their country anytime we feel like it. We don't ask them for permission for any damn thing. And we just sailed our Ghost Fleet out of Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, so we don't really consider, even though we love the Canadians, we don't really consider them separate from us. The Canadians do, but we don't. We don't really feel that about the Brits either. We feel like they're kindred. They're like kin to us, and especially where I come from, because Louisiana has the Acadians, and then they have the Acadians, and we speak the same language, the same French language, which nobody speaks in any other place.
Well, they're so close to us on the border states, and I think only on the border states. They're especially when they're really, really close. Convenience stores on either side at the register that can take either American or Canadian dollars. You don't find that if you go to a convenience store in South Carolina with Canadian money, they're going to look at you funny. They don't take it. You'd have to have traveler's checks or convert to American money. But on those border states, it's in the register they choose either dollars or Canadian, one or the other.
The economy's so bad in our country right now. You got a bunch of rich people moving to Mexico, and which, by the way, moving to Mexico is not the safest thing to do. People, they still do have issues down there with crime lords and stuff. So I don't want to see any of y'all die. I just want to see all y'all live to be very nice people and stuff. No, I'm serious. It's and somebody said, well, Canada's a big ass country. Yeah, with 38 million people. Freaking California got more people than Canada. Texas is fixing to have more people than Canada. I'm like, we don't really consider. I mean, they were at 7 provinces, 8 provinces. That would just be new states to the union. I don't understand why we haven't done it already. I don't understand why we haven't annexed Cuba. If I was president, that's the first thing I'd do is annex Cuba. Russia would be like, that's like, shut up, Russia. What are you going to do? Start a war over? No, you're not. You go home and sit down.
Well, the people moving to Mexico, they're not really saving much. It's 1 to 17. One US dollar gets you 17 Mexican pesos. With that being said, when you go to the store, a package of gum costs like 250 pesos.
I'm thinking North America should be one country anyway. So we should just annex Mexico too, and then tell Britain, and then we could all join the Commonwealth. We
might as well just go ahead and grab it.
You don't want to be in the Commonwealth, Joe.
Yeah,
you don't want to be.
The Brits Commonwealth is pretty cool. I mean, it's got India, it's got Australia, it's got a bunch of places, good places. It's got Canada, just don't have us. It's got a lot of key countries, just not us. We're just egotistical. We're not gonna, it'll be our Commonwealth. It's actually what it'll be. And the Brits with Russia, the Brits are nervous. You remember this. There's still people alive in England that remember World War II, and there are still wrecked places all over Europe to remind you of World War II. And without us, all of Europe would be goose stepping. I mean, they pretty much conquered Europe all but Britain. And the only reason Britain survived is because we
Well, that's not true. They only got half of France.
Yeah,
they didn't get any of Spain, 0 Spain.
They would have took them all, though, eventually.
0 Portugal.
I mean, they were all the way down in Africa.
They would have eventually taken, but they had a pact with Spain. They would have, obviously had to break that pact, but they didn't get close enough. They only got halfway to Spain.
Well, no, allies count too. I mean, just like Italy, they didn't have to conquer them. Italy was part of the Axis, so that counts. That still counts as being part of it.
But I mean, Italy fell fairly easily.
Right, they didn't have to fall. They were part of the Axis. Remember, Mussolini was president. They were
Oh,
part
no,
of
I
it.
know. Yeah, but they were the first one to surrender to American forces of
Yeah,
the three
okay.
in Europe or
But
four in
what
Europe.
they were around dragging through the streets was what the best thing they ever did. What's that, Carl? No, I'm not old enough to be in World War II. What the fuck is the matter with you?
Who said that?
Where you live? I'm going to send a damn alien to probe your ass, buddy.
If
Oh,
anybody
man.
on this panel should be in World War II, it would be me.
It's the hell, people. We're the same age. What are you talking about? It's wait, where'd it go? Oh, hey, Ricky. Oh, Ricky Lee, what you doing? I ain't seen your name in a while. Where you been hiding at? We'll give y'all 5 more minutes and then we out of here. What you got? Yeah, more. I need my rest. I need to sleep. I haven't even eaten yet today. Plus, I've been cursing all night. It's,
It make you hungry.
oh, you're talking about Leah? No, she's not married. Wait till she's on next week and you can harass her. Or when she comes on with us Wednesday, you can harass her. No, she's not married. She's that's rude to ask the woman's age. But I think she's 38. I
Yeah.
think she's the same age as my son, 38. Yeah. I give her shit all the time. That's my job. That. Yeah, I give everybody shit. That's my job. No,
Hey,
that's
if you
why
look at my Facebook page, it'll show you a picture of all the gold I got back in 2023.
Oh, look at gold. We're gonna start calling you the gold man.
Yeah, that was all the dirt I had from last year, and yeah, it's on my Facebook page.
I'll have to wait till I'm actually on a real computer instead of one of these junky things.
Hey.
That's cool, though, man.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean, Jesse? No, he goes mining, or he goes. What do you do?
Panning.
Do you mine or do you pan, or both?
Pan.
Okay, I was just wondering because I know some people pan, some people actually go digging in caves. I'm like, what the hell, man?
I ain't digging in no damn cave. No, just find me a stream with trees and birds and animals, and then I'll start digging in the creek. I'm not digging. I don't live out in Arizona. You ever see them videos out there? They're like out in the middle of the desert digging this shit up, and I'm like, no.
I've seen some people go panning in a couple different places, and there's somewhere in Arkansas you can pan for all kind of stuff.
Yeah, in Arkansas they have that diamond mine down there where the
They got
diamonds lay on
diamonds, they got
top. You can
opals,
go out
they
and
got
get the diamonds.
they
Yeah.
got all kind of shit up next state. And they got crystals out the yin yang. It's like a stone state or something. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Plus, they have some of the best water in the country. I
Mhm.
love. We were in Hot Springs last time, and I love the way they do it. So each spring they have a place where it comes out, and you can go fill your bottles. They got it set up where you can fill up your bottles. Each one has what's in the water. It's listed on top of it, what minerals are in it, what it's due. And because back in 1909 or something, there used to be a big resort there where all the rich people used to come sit in the hot water springs and the mud baths. They still have it all underground there, by the way. If they got hotels where it's underneath the hotels, but they would just come there. So they were drinking the water and bottling the water and taking it home. So somewhere along the line, they decided to put it up so you know what you're actually getting. I mean, they don't put any that you can't drink. They are all drinkable, but they all have different minerals in it that do different things that make you feel different ways. They have several hot springs where you can just pass out in the hot spring. Chris, I'm not getting a hot spring. I've seen in movies where the hot spring turned into boiling water. Screw that. Some caldera get hot and I'd be barbecued. Nah, that's okay, man.
Hey Joe, I'm sorry, but I gotta go.
Oh, we out of here. We out of here right now.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
John's out of here. Me and Dave fixing to be out of here in a second. All I can tell you, if y'all are Trump fans, pray for Trump. Tell him you love him, send him messages. Don't start no insurrections, people. This is the United States. I do not endorse insurrection, so stay. Okay,
You can protest, just do it correctly and legally. That's all there is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Protest to your heart's desire, but no insurrections. Leave the White House alone. I mean, leave the Senate alone. No. All right, good night, Sean. We're gonna get out of here. And thanks for opening up for us tonight, Sean.
Oh, you're welcome, bud. If I end this stream, you're going to be shut off, dude.
No, we're gonna. Oh, you're gonna have to. So let me close this out, and then you can end it. One thing, Jacqueline, and we're going to go. Yes, BLM got to do a lot of things all across the country, and they got away with a lot of stuff. But a lot of people did go to jail. And if the Jan 6 people would have done the same thing, they wouldn't have gotten near the trouble they did for attacking the Congress. You don't attack Congress. You just don't. It's a stupid idea. And you see what happened. Yeah, some of these people are going to get away. And if Trump wins, a lot more people are going to get away. But you don't do that. This is the United States. Go out and protest all around the country. The news media will watch you. But don't violence, people. Come on. No violence.
Right.
This is America. We need violence. On that note, we're going to get out of here. Sean, close this out, baby. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Stay out of trouble. Get married and have 50 kids.
Good night, everybody.
Good
It
night.
looks like Elon Musk.